Hey yo friends! Welcome, sorry I'm running a tad bit late, but we're live now. Alright, how's everybody doing? Tonight is Ever Crisis night, finally, after all this time. Excuse me. You know, like I keep saying, my initial plan was to play all three versions of VII, so that's OG, Remake, Rebirth, and Ever Crisis, kind of in parallel, so that we could really, you know, deep dive and compare the three versions of the story. And we kind of haven't been doing that because then, you know, I was rushed because I wanted to finish Remake before Rebirth came out, and then Rebirth was out, and I have been, you know, like wanting to play it so bad that, you know, last Sunday, for instance, was supposed to be Ever Crisis Day, but we ended up playing Rebirth. But tonight we're getting back to Ever Crisis. I also say this every time we do an Ever Crisis related thing, but I do think it's important to keep in mind. Nomura-san said that Ever Crisis, the tagline for the game, is another possibility for a remake. Now, with everything that we've learned from Rebirth and Remake, you know, the whole thing about there is a timeline and the Whispers were kind of trying to guard that timeline, make sure that things happen the way they were supposed to happen. Fucking destiny, fate, deterministic type shit, right? Which seems to be the OG7 timeline. At least I feel like it's a safe assumption at this point that you know, the regular timeline was that. And then in Remake, we bit the shit out of the Whispers and kind of like broke fate, as it were, right? Which is why they are now totally different stories. What I interpret this tagline, another possibility for a remake as, is Ever Crisis is going to be yet another timeline. Now, this is a good way to segue into previously in Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis. It's been fucking months since we did the first one of these, but not to worry, Boko's here. Hello, Boko. And you can't really see it with my crap webcam, but Ifrit is holding a very low polygon count grape from Final Fantasy XIV. You'll just have to use your imagination for now. I'll get better gear eventually. Right, so previously in Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis, what went down? So the beginning of the story was very, very, very similar to the OG timeline, with a few small differences. We did get some exclusive scenes that were in neither of the two other versions, where we hung out with Jesse, Wedge, and Biggs. Got a bit of backstories, maybe a strong word, but you know, we got a bit of info on them, and also, you know, like they got more screen time than they did in OG, and kind of one-on-one with Cloud every single time. Nothing that compares to the backstory we got for Jesse in Remake, but you know, that's an exclusive, so I do want to point it out. And other than that, it's been extremely similar to the OG7 story so far, just, you know, compressed a lot, it goes a lot faster. I expect we will overtake OG7 tonight, and I don't think... Last time I thought we'd just do the whole story mode in 3 hours. We've got 3 hours and a half tonight. I don't think we're gonna get through the whole story, which is a shame because I'm really excited about... I'm never gonna do this previously, am I? If you'll allow me one last thing before we jump into what happened in more detail. So, Glenn made an appearance in Rebirth. He seems to be kind of a big deal. Glenn Lodbrok, and if you guys haven't played Ever Crisis, you probably have no fucking idea who this guy is. But we Ever Crisis players know more than you. And I'm excited to show you guys that. So this is another one of the story modes called First Soldier. And I don't want to mix and match and start too many things at the same time. So I do want to get up to date with where we're at with the 7 story in Ever Crisis before we go into First Soldier. But I'm really excited to show you guys. All that being said, you know, let's try and get as much of the story done tonight as possible. Although, of course, as always, you know, do feel free to ask questions or anything. We can stop at any time. Right, last thing, disclaimer. I did say this last time, but if this is the first time you're watching me play Ever Crisis, story mode is just a tiny bit of the game. It's a gacha game. There's a lot of, you know, like, hard to clear stuff. There's a lot of, you know, like high-end content. Endgame, it's not endgame, but you know what I'm saying, like challenging content for hardcore players. We're going to be using my actual characters with all their stuff and shit, and they are extremely overpowered because I've been playing from day zero. Hey Yosie, thanks for being here. Welcome. Did you manage to get the your password back to get on Moondancer or not. So yeah, we'll just breeze through the fights. The fights will not be interesting at all. Please do not think that shit. Do you want me to pause this for a second and come downstairs and work it out with you? We could do that. We can start 5 minutes early. It's fine. Where was I? Yeah. So. Please do not think that the fights as you will see them tonight are representative of what Ever Crisis normally is when you actually play it. There's a streamer... You're good? Okay, let me know if you change your mind. Or maybe during the break we can try and work it out so you can get at least the second half on the big screen. Sorry about that, y'all. Yeah, so... You know, we're here for the story, but we're doing it in a weird way because you're kind of supposed to do these, you know, as you go along and get better with your characters. So the fights are supposed to be more interesting than they'll be tonight. We'll just be walking all over them. Please do not judge Ever Crisis by that. Also, you might notice the loading screens are going to be extremely long. That's just because of my computer. It's not representative of what Ever Crisis runs like normally. So also, please do not judge the game based on that. Yeah, hang in there with me. Focus on the story. And ignore the rest. And like I always say, you know, someday we could do an Ever Crisis stream or actually play the game, try and do hard content. And I say someday, but you know, we'll definitely do it at some point, I think, because it's kind of fun. And there's stuff that I clear almost everything, but not quite everything just yet. And you know, there's like, I feel like I could clear everything without spending money. But it's also like, I often don't feel like it. Like, I know it'd be hours of just redoing the same fucking dungeon just to get, you know, that extra little DPS or that tiny bit of survivability. That means I can go through one more phase of the boss and shit. But if we do it on stream with you guys, it might be more fun. So maybe at some point, if I really want to clear everything, then we'll do a special stream where I actually play the game the way it's meant to be played and not like I will be doing tonight. And speaking of special streams, this Tuesday is the... Love the Viking bird. Thank you, Zia. It looked a lot better yesterday when it was just done. But yeah, I thought it was fun, so I wanted to keep on for the stream. Also, for once, I wear this sweater all the time because it's like my Sharlayan t-shirt sweater. So it's like a Final Fantasy 14 thing. But usually when I have my fucking beard just, you know, unbraided, you can't actually see what it is beneath it. So happy for that too, but it's actually really hot in here. Summer has come to Dorda, and so I think I'm gonna drop the sweater very soon. But anyway, you saw it for once. So Tuesday is our special Final Fantasy 14 stream where we'll be doing housing. We will be furnishing my house that Lum got me. It's gonna be fun. It'll be my first time actually doing it, so we'll see how it goes. But you know, it'll be fun either way. And I don't know how it's gonna come out. Probably, you know, a lot more terrible than what I have in mind when I picture the whole thing, but we'll just have fun with it. It'll be nice to play 14 again, and then we'll get back on schedule from Sunday on. Alright, now let's get back to Ever Crisis. Previously on Ever Crisis, what happened last time? So, Cloud's our, you know, brooding mercenary guy. He goes on this bombing mission to destroy a Mako reactor with this dude Barrett and his group of terrorists, Avalanche. Then we learn that he's actually doing that because his childhood friend Tifa is involved with Avalanche. He's an ex-soldier, which means he's like super strong, but he's got weird eyes. Kind of a weird dynamic with Tifa. We had the same Nibelheim flashback we got in every version of it, where they're kids, and he makes the promise that when he becomes famous, he'll come help her out if she's ever in a bind. And they decide to go on a second bombing mission, this time with Tifa, at the end of which Cloud falls down to the Sector 7 slums where he meets Aerith, the flower girl. They kind of flirt with each other, hang out, as they're walking, so Aerith is walking Cloud home back to Sector 7, I'm sorry. It was Sector 5 that he met Aerith in, not Sector 7. Sector 7's where he and Tifa leave now. As they're heading back, they see Tifa, in a weird carriage getting, you know, like, carted off to Wall Market. So decide to go and check what's going on with that. There's the whole Wall Market sequence, very similar, although a lot shorter than it was in either of our versions. We managed to get some info out of Don Corneo, the local, mafia mob and absolute pervert, and, rapist. And he tells us that Shinra plans to just drop the Sector 7 plate on the slums, killing everybody in the process. And then he opens a little switch and drops us down into the, sewer system. And that's where we're at. So again, everything I've said essentially happened in the other two games. Just this is the Ever Crisis version of it. And without further ado, my friends, I say let's fucking go. Alright, let's see. It's been a while since I've done this, but yeah, it's perfect. Let me move myself. I think I had myself up there. But like always, please let me know if you want me to move the camera. Also, sound balance. I normally do sound checks before each one of these now, but I didn't today because I was getting late, running late. So if you want me to tune down the music volume or my voice or whatever, please let me know. Alright, like I was saying, the longest loading screens, this is not, that's just because of my computer. It's an old gaming laptop I got secondhand, so it's good enough to play 14 for now anyway. I really hope the graphical update doesn't mean I have to upgrade. I just changed its SSD and shit. They're upgrading the graphics in Final Fantasy 14 with the next expansion, and everybody's super excited about it. And I've realized, I think I might have spoken about this on stream before, but I've realized that I don't care much for graphics, which is kind of a shame, right? For a somebody who spends so much time playing video games. I'm sorry, I'm dropping the Charlie and sweater. It's way too hot. Give me just a second. I'll be back with you guys. Oh fuck me! How did I not see this coming? I'm sorry. So I usually play on my phone, right? Which means I haven't. All right, it doesn't look like it's too bad. Let me just drop the sweater. I'll be right back with you. And I'm back. Sorry about that. What were we saying? Yeah, the graphics. It's like, yeah, I don't know. Like, I can tell that the remake and rebirth are beautiful, for instance. And there are times, when we're playing it on stream, where I went like, oh my god, look at this, and actually, like geeked out about the graphics. So it's not that I'm completely oblivious about them, but I feel like they don't take as much of a part in how much I enjoy a game as I feel it does for most other people. And so, for instance, this graphical update to 14 that everybody's getting so excited about, if anything, it's more of an annoyance to me. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm happy they're doing it because it's what people want, and I also think it's kind of necessary if we want 14 to keep running for a very long time, which obviously I want to be the case. But it is telling that this is something you'd need to do. Like, people would not play a 10-year-old game with its 10-year-old graphics, even if the game was still, getting updated and a great game. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really don't care. And if anything, somebody, I think it was Marm, who asked me after the first time I streamed OG, like, do you not mind those, you know what, let me just put my face since we're just talking while the update's going on. Again, I'm sorry, I should have thought and done that before we got started. But so yeah, I think Marm asked me, do you not mind the shitty graphics of OG? Like, do you manage to still enjoy that like you did when you were a kid? And my honest answer was, yeah, absolutely. And, I wouldn't go so far as to say that I liked OG's graphics better than Remake and Rebirths. Like, that'd be ridiculous, see? But there are cases like that where I actually think things looking too good. I mean, again, it's just personally my taste. No accounting for it, right? But like, alright, concrete example of the point I'm trying to make is that I think 11 looks better than 14. which I know makes no sense. You know, like, most folks I feel like would tell you that 14's graphics are just objectively better, but I don't know, there's something about older graphics that just, I don't know, I really fucking love them. I remember when 13 came out, I was actually, you know, how can I put this? Like, the graphics were a little upsetting for me because it was, I think, a bit too realistic, if that makes any sense. Alright, we're done with the update. Do you know what? Actually, so this specific thing, like when things are too graphically close to reality, it kind of makes your brain fart. That's not just me, it's an actual... Yes, I'm sorry, I'm just... Real quick, we're gonna go check out my chocobos, because there is the little badge that said that they were done hunting for treasure from... It'll just be a second, and then we'll seriously start playing or watching the story. Look at my chocobos! That way I can show you my chocobos! I didn't show you them last time, did I? Shit, lag is even worse than usual. That will be okay. Let me show you my chocobos real quick while we're here. That was just an excuse to show you my chocobos. So this is Keish. He was the very first one I got. This is Vanilla, Bobo, Eleanor, all caps with exclamation marks. Shit, I feel like I did show you my chocobos last time, because I remember telling the story of I was drunk when I named this one. It's just I really like this name, and Eleanor, the actual historical figure, is like a badass and one of my favorite historical figures. So anyway, you did get to meet my chocobos. Hello, Eva! Thanks for stopping by. Welcome. It's going great, thank you. How about yourself? How is your day? Or is your day, if it is still daytime? This is Lolo. She's the latest addition to the team, and as you can see, she's the only B rank I've got. And the way, you know, this works for now is that every day you can buy new chocobos, and their ranks are just random. Going good as well. Good to hear, good to hear. We're gonna be playing through the story of Ever Crisis. I don't know if you have played it at all, or if you've played any of the Final Fantasy VII versions. Just a heads up, if you have not and plan on playing, you know, like Rebirth, Remake, or Final Fantasy VII in the future, you might get spoilers because the stories are very, very similar. So, just wanted to say that, just so that you knew. Alright, perfect. We just finished Bride Audition. Hello, Nima! How are you, my friend? How was your day? Thanks for being here tonight. Have you seen my my braids, bro? How cool is that? Oh, I shut up during the... Oh, wait, no, I will not shut up during the cutscenes, because I need to do the voice acting. Hey! Thank you, Eva. I am so far. It's great to, you know, have you guys, and having the chat being alive and shit. Thanks for being here. Hope you will enjoy as well, if you decide to stick around. Hi, Midgar. How are the preparations going?
Smoothly, very smoothly. I signed the Turks to this.
Mr. President, are we really going to do this? All to destroy a group with only a few members? You have a complaint to file, Reeve? Thank you, Nima. No. But as head of the Urban Planning Division, I have been involved in the building and running of Midgar. That's why...
Reeve! Flush your personal problems with the rest of your crap! Now, if you'll excuse me, sir.
I should have worked on accents for them.
We'll destroy Sector 7 and report that Avalanche did it. Then we'll send in the rescue operation, care of Shinra Incorporated. This is perfect.
You've got some new stuff you've been working on for streamers, wanna check it out? No, thank you, Eva. I don't... Yeah, I'm not gonna buy anything. I have zero money to put into this for now. And if I did, I'd work on the actual, you know, hardware for now instead of, like, getting stuff. I'll work on like doing, making things look better eventually, but I'll just do it myself for free, or make friends work for it, but for free as well. Thanks for the offer though. Cloud and the others find themselves in the sewers thanks to Don Corneo's snare. With the growing fear of the plate being dropped on Sector 7, the three make their escape and arrive at the train graveyard. So see, we're just skipping entirely over the whole sewer section. Hey, Krieger! Welcome! The whole gang is here! Yay! We're finally getting back to Ever Crisis tonight, Krieger, and we've literally just started because I forgot to update the game like an idiot, so that's what we'd been doing before you showed up. And we were, I don't know if you remember, but we were at the end of the Wall Market section, and like I was saying, they just like skipped the sewer section entirely. We're going straight into the train graveyard. Man, do I love those graphics. See, again, like... it doesn't have to be photorealistic for me to enjoy graphics. I guess it's one of the points I was trying to make. How are you holding up? I'm fine, but Sector 7, if we don't do something... Don't give up. Never give up, Pop. Sector 7 is just up ahead. Destroying a pillar can't be easy, right? You know, you're right, we can still make it. Thanks, Arif, you're a pal. You all missed them accents, didn't you? Look, I don't know if you can tell, but this good-looking young man over there, all blurry and shit, that was Glenn Lodbrok, yo! Alright, through the graveyard. I don't remember if last time around I actually went through the trouble of making them wear their like proper clothes. If you all don't mind, we won't bother with that. The fights will last 3 seconds anyway. Hey sis! Thank you for being here, my sister! How are you? Are you all ready for the big vacation? Thanks for being here. Check out my beard, sister! Got 2 braids! 2 braids! Good, good. I hope you guys have a great time. Can you come wake me up when you pop in tomorrow? So that I can say hi. I'll try and put an alarm, but... Thank you! What sound? It's a helicopter from Shinra, no doubt. Heading to Sector 7. They're really going to Tifa. Marlene, Barrett, the people of the slums. Let's go. We don't have time for this shit. Alright, also, I'm gonna leave the fights on, like, you can speed them up. I'm gonna leave them in, like, full speed mode, because again, like, the fights will not be interesting. It really is all about the story, since we're... And, like, that specific team that we have right now... Oh, fuck, Arif is in the fucking swimsuit again. I have, like, 4 outfits for her. But I don't know if you noticed, what I did was just like hit the button that optimizes their gear, and it is true that her swimsuit is actually like pretty good, so that's usually what the auto mode makes her wear. I'm sorry about that. Well, I guess it is, like we were all in Costa del Sol about, it was all about swimsuits during our last stream, so I guess it kinda makes sense. Also, check her out. Her swimsuit top is the exact same as that lady sex worker that worked for the mayor of Costa del Sol, except recolored, because that lady was her swimsuit was white and Aerith's is pink, but it is the exact same asset, which I think is interesting. And I think I ramble about that every time we play Ever Crisis, and probably all the time we play Rebirth as well. But what I find super interesting is that they really didn't go for the obvious, you know, when they started adding gear, they didn't start with the gear that we actually seen in Rebirth. And it's especially more noteworthy because I don't know if you know, it's pretty obvious when you look at the way the fights look in beautiful photorealistic 3D and shit, that they're reusing the assets from Rebirth, right? Which, like, of course they would. That's what they should do. But you know, it's really interesting that they'd go out of their way remaking new clothes. You know, like making an actually exclusive new swimsuit for Aerith, when in the other game there is one. So I'll shut up and get you okay, Aerith? Are you hurt? Can you run? I think I'm fine. We're almost there. But sorry, guys. I got a suspicious group here. Detain them for questioning. Call for backup. Leave us alone. Although to be fair, for the specific example, the swimsuit was like the very first. The banner that it was released on was the very first event that happened in Ever Crisis, say a little over 6 months ago. So maybe the assets for the swimsuits had not been finalized for Rebirth yet. Well, I do find that hard to believe. But what do I know about development cycles and where swimsuits appear within them? I don't fucking know what I'm talking about. I'd still be surprised if you know, that was not an option. And I feel like, so I did get Tifa's, you know, cowboy Nibelheim guide outfit. But it was like for the, so when Rebirth was about to drop, they did a collab event. Little plug here if you allow me, but I upload the story of, you know, limited time events in Ever Crisis on my YouTube channel. And you can go check it out. So you can go check out the collab with Rebirth. It's like essentially everything that was in the playable demo for Rebirth. They just redid Ever Crisis version. And so the banner that went along with that event was Tifa's cowboy outfit. And the reason I'm saying it was, well, you know, of course, that took way too long. It's okay, we can still make it. Come on, they're waiting for us. Yeah. I'm sorry, I know there's a lot of loading screens and it kind of like breaks the flow, doesn't it? I'm sorry about that. I thought about trying to stream like from the, you know, from my phone, which would probably be smoother, but it's a bit of a hassle. And you know, like, it's nothing we can't do if we put our minds to it, but then what is, right? We can do anything, people. It's just, we've got the Steam version right there. I'm all set up for it. Check this out, check this out! Shut up, Morgan. See this guy there on the left? That's Glenn Lodbrok when he was younger. That's Glenn Lodbrok before Rebirth. Also, you guys, I'm gonna freak out every time we see Glenn on loading screens, which is gonna happen a lot. I realize it's kinda spoilery, because for instance, if you're reading this right now, like what's on the screen for the loading screen, you know, you can probably infer some stuff about Glenn that we don't know in Rebirth. I will not be tagging those with my little purple square thing, like I normally do spoilers. I hope that's okay with you all. And if anybody's bothered by that and does not want me to talk about Glenn, please let me know and I'll stop. Again, it's stuff we're gonna play together. It's stuff you could find out right now if you played Ever Crisis. So you know, it's not Rebirth spoilers per se. It's just knowing the character and the game that he's from. We made it. Where is everyone? Hey, you there! Oh, come on! Madre de Dios! Wait, that's not Italian. So yeah, they did drop one of the, you know, the outfits kind of, I was gonna say everyone, I shouldn't speak in everybody's name, but like, definitely I was expecting to see real soon, right? But they did it for a crossover event, and the rules for crossover loot seems to be a little different from the other events. And, you know, an especially relevant one, of course, like the release of one of the main games, or, you know, in the remake version of it, obviously is a huge fucking deal when you're a Final Fantasy VII themed gacha. So my theory on why they're doing all this really cool looking, by the way, I'm not criticizing at all, on the contrary, I fucking love the outfits. I feel like the reason they're prioritizing creating new ones, which is obviously a lot of work, instead of giving us the ones they have the assets for, is that they want to release those for really relevant, you know, things. That's my theory anyway. Okay, just that. Huh. Biggs, Jesse! Hey.
Cloud, you survived. Good for Tifa. Cloud, so you don't care what happens to the planet?
Biggs. We're gonna be nice to Biggs, right? You're wounded. Forget about that. You need to get patched up.
Give it a rest. I know what I'm done for.
No, Biggs, is that Cloud? Cloud, I'm glad I could talk with you one last time. Jesse. Don't say last. Don't talk like it's over. That's alright. Because of our actions, many people died. This probably is our punishment.
Whoa!
Oh shit. Wedge! Wedge, you alright?
Cloud, you remembered my name. Pirates of Stop, help. And Cloud, sorry I wasn't in you. Help.
No, not a Wedge 2! This can't be fucking happening! Aerith, you look after Wedge. Tifa, let's go. Tifa! Aerith, do me a favor. I have a bar called the Seventh Heaven in this neighborhood. There's a little girl named Marlene there. Don't worry, I'll take her somewhere safe. What incredible acting, am I right? Shit, which one did we just... Well, we didn't have... We didn't fight anything, did we? Everyone's waiting... Let me just... I feel like we just did Avalanche struggle. Maybe we did fight. And we had the plates full. That makes sense. There's no way we have a fight with Aerith. So that's the one. Barrett's gonna look like his normal self. I don't have any alternative outfits for him yet. Because yeah, so the party we had up to now, Cloud, Tifa and Aerith, happens to be my A team. Like, they're literally the best characters I have, the ones I have the most weapons for and shit. So, I mean, you know, switching one of them out for Barrett is not gonna make the fights any harder. We'll still walk all over them. But yeah, it was, you know, the worst possible team to make fights somewhat interesting. Which again, they're not gonna be. I didn't really choose that team. Well, Tifa, I definitely did. Like, I actively pulled on banners for her and stuff. Aerith and Cloud just kinda happened, if I'm being honest. And yeah, now they're the ones I'm kinda stuck with. Barrett! Tifa! Crude! You came!
Be careful! They're attacking from the helicopter!
They kinda... Those Shinra troopers all looked bold, didn't they? Like, we could see a tiny bit of, you know... See underneath their helmets, and I feel like they're all bold. Maybe they just dye up their hair before putting on the helmets, I guess. So yeah, outfits.
Morgan, do you realize you've been talking about fucking outfits in video games since the stream started?
Well, yeah, but you know, it is a gacha game. The outfits are kind of a big deal. It's the real end game, y'all. I don't know. So I said this last time. But if you're wondering what the fuck Cloud and Tifa are wearing, they are actual. They're cosplaying as Zidane for Cloud and Amaranth for Tifa, who are two of the main characters in Final Fantasy IX. Is that fucking French? What the fuck? Allez hop? Allez Always? How would you read that in English? That's allez hop, right? Allez hop? So fucking weird. You're too late. Once I push this button. That's all, folks. Mission accomplished. We have to disarm it. Cloud, Barret, please. I can't have you do that. Ooh yeah. Let's fight. So yeah, my Cloud and Tifa are cosplaying as Final Fantasy IX characters. Which I think is really cool. They made a crossover event with 9 very early on in the game's history. I mean, this game is No One Gets in the Way of Reno and the Turks. It's just a little over 6 months old, right? And you know, I was not expecting a crossover with another game, even though it is one in the franchise, that early on. Look at this shit. I just two-shot the motherfucker. I'm sorry about that, y'all. Ice is one of the specialties of my Tifa, so just like, yeah. She could have probably one-shotted him if Barret hadn't gotten a hit in before her, honestly. Anyway. It's kinda okay when we're just, you know, fighting Shinra troopers, but even in-world, you know, Reno should give us trouble. Well, it's about time! Damn! He's running away! Barret, we have to stop the explosives first, putain! Cloud, I don't know how to stop this fucking thing. Let me see. It's not a normal time bomb. That's right. Morturks! Tang, pleased to meet you. Though I doubt we'll be meeting again. Please stop it! Think of what will happen if Sector 7 falls! Only a Shinra executive can set up or disarm the emergency plate release system. Shut your hole! If you ain't gonna help! I wouldn't try that. You just might make me injure our special guest. Oi! Aerith, how did they get her? Oh, you know each other. How nice you could see each other one last time. You should have thanked me. What are you gonna do with Aerith? I haven't decided. Our orders were to find and catch the last remaining engine. It's taken us a long time, but now I can finally report this to the president. Tifa, don't worry. She's alright. Hurry and get the fuck out of here, yeah? Haha. Well, it should be starting right about now. Think you can escape in time? I'm sorry about that horrendous Chinese accent, y'all. I hope that wasn't offensive to anyone. You know, his name is Tseng. I always pictured Tseng as Chinese, which makes no sense because he's from Midgar probably, but... Anyway, that's where that came from. The pillar's crumbling! Once that plate starts coming down, it'll be too late. We have to fucking stop it. Tifa, there's no time. We need to escape. Yo! We can use this wire to get out! Just hang on to me! Tifa. Right. The amount of work that goes into this, like, you know, they actually redid this whole sequence, like, they redid all those cutscenes with these... Y'all know how much I love these graphics, but... I don't know, they could have just reused the assets from Remake, right? But no, they went and redid everything. Alright, so that extra section in big red, scary lettering, is just combat content, not... you know, there's no story there, so we'll just keep on moving. Barrett's Roar. Glenn again. So these three are kind of the main gang for First Soldier, the other storyline that we'll play together very soon. So they're unique characters, right? They were actually created for this storyline, and I really, really like him. And each one of those three, I think, are really well written and have depth and shit. And, you know, now that Glenn's part of the main fucking series, it's even more exciting to me. Marlin! 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 Biggs! Wedge! Jesse! Goddamn putain de merde! Damn it! Damn it all! What the hell's it all for, huh? Barrett! Hey, Barrett. Putain! Hey! Barrett, stop. Please stop. Barrett. Grunts in French. Goddamn! Marlin! Barrett. Marlene is, I think Marlene is safe. Huh? Right before they took air, if she said, "Don't worry, she's alright," she was probably talking about Marlene. Really? But, Biggs, Wedge, Jesse, all three of them were... You think I don't know that? But, we, all of us, fought together. I don't want to think of them as dead. And the other people in Sector 7. This is all screwed up. They destroyed an entire city just to get to us. They killed so many people. Are you saying it's our fault? Because the avalanche was here. Innocent people lost their lives because of us. No, Tifa. That ain't it. Hell no. It ain't us. It's the damn putain Shinra. It's never been nobody but putain Shinra. They're evil and destroying our planet just to build their power and line their own damn fucking pockets with gold! If we don't stop them, if we don't get rid of them, they're gonna kill this planet! Our fight ain't never gonna be over until we get rid of them. I don't know, Barrett. What don't you know? You don't believe me? It's not that. I'm not sure about me, my feelings. Tifa, there ain't no turning back now. Yeah, I know that. And what about you? Yo! Let's go to Aerith's house. Of course, that must be where Marlene is. What? She's where? I asked Aerith to help Marlene. I just said that to Barrett. Why didn't you say so? So Marlene's at that lady's place? Claude! Take me to Marlene! Yeah. There is something I want to know too. What's that? It's about the Ancients. The Ancients are the rightful rulers of this planet. Wait, that was Sephiroth. Wrong voice. Sephiroth? Cloud. Hey! After him! Out of my fucking way. So, I've said this before, but I want to say it again. The loading screens are incredibly long, and you might also notice that, like, when the little, chat bubbles pop up, it's not smooth, right? That's only because of my old gaming computer. If you play on mobile or with a decent computer on the Steam version, it will not be like that at all. Please do not think that Ever Crisis is laggy just because it's laggy with my shit setup, okay? It's usually really fucking smooth. And I know I've said this before, but I just want to make sure, in case you're just joining us, we're just doing the story bits tonight, but with my overpowered team, which means the fights are ridiculous, like, look, mommy, no hands! That's not what the game usually is. There's some extremely challenging combat content. Please do not think this is representative of the game as a whole. We're really just here to focus on the story tonight. Cloud, wait! He ain't listening. Come on! So, we are still extremely close to OG story, right? Don't look at this if you don't want spoilers for our Rebirth playthrough. Although I guess there's not much in there. You might actually remember this little kitty cat there. We glimpsed him very briefly at the end of Remake. He was kind of like looking over Midgar. Like this little humanoid cat with boots and a little crown. But that's all we know. Oh, check this out! It's the house, y'all! It's my house! Cloud, wasn't it? It's about Aerith, isn't it? Sorry. Shinra has her. I know. They took her from here. They were here? That's what Aerith wanted. Why is Shinra after Aerith? Aerith is an ancient, the sole survivor. What did you say? But aren't you her mother? Also, where is my daughter? Not a real mother. It must have been 15 years ago? During the war. My husband was sent to the front, some faraway place called Wutai. One day I received a letter from him. I'll be coming home on leave. So nice letter, bro. They haven't changed the Shinra train people uniforms in 15 years. But my husband never came back. I wonder if something happened to him. Nah, I'm sure his leave was just cancelled. That's what I told myself. I went to the station every single day. One day, there was a woman who had collapsed at the station, and a child crying beside her.
Iris somewhere safe.
Those were her last words. My husband never came back. I had no children. I was probably lonely, so I decided to take her home with me. Arif and I became close very quickly. That child loved to talk. She used to talk to me about everything. She told me how she escaped from some kind of research laboratory, and that her mother had already returned to the planet, so she wasn't lonely. And many other things. Return to the planet?
Planetology. That sounds about right.
I didn't know what she meant. I asked if she meant a star in the sky, but she said it was this planet. She was a mysterious child in many ways, like the time, not long after she came here. Mom, please don't cry. Arif just blurted that out, all of a sudden. When I asked her if something happened, someone dear to you was just died. His spirit was coming to see you, but he's already returned to the planet, yeah? At the time, I didn't believe her. But I'm not gonna cry. Then we received a notice saying my husband died. Things like that, just no. It was a lot to deal with, but you know, mostly we were happy. Until one day... Here comes the Chinese accent again, I'm sorry. We want you to return Arif to us. We've been searching for her for a long time. Shit. I think my shitty accent just made the game crash, y'all. Oh no, I accidentally clicked the menu. We good. No! Never! Aerith, you're a very special child. You are of special blood. Your real mother was an ancient. An ancient? The ancients will lead us to a land of supreme happiness. Aerith will be able to bring happiness to all those in the slums. That is why Shinra would like Aerith's cooperation. He's wrong! Not an ancient! Not! But Aerith, surely you hear voices sometimes when you're all alone. No, I don't! But I knew. I knew about her mysterious powers. She tried so hard to hide it, so I acted as though I never noticed, but... It's amazing how she's avoided Shinra for all these years. Shinra needs her, so I guess they wouldn't harm her. But then, why you now? She brought a little girl here with her. Zhang found them on their way here. She probably wasn't fast enough to get away. She decided to go to Shinra in exchange for the little girl's safety. Marlène! Alice was caught because of Marlène! I'm sorry. Marlène's my daughter. I'm really sorry, madame. You're her father? How in the world could you ever leave a child alone like that? Dude, your daughter's literally in the hands of a mega evil corporation. You're one to fucking talk. Please, don't start with that. I'm always thinking about what might happen to Marlène if I... But you gotta understand something. I don't got any answers. I wanna be with Marlène, but I gotta fight. Cause if I don't, then the planet's gonna die. So I'm gonna keep fighting. But inside, I'm always thinking of her. I just wanna be with her. Always. See? I'm going in circles now. I think I know what you mean. Daddy? Marlène! Daddy! I'm so glad. I'm so glad you're alright. Daddy, don't cry. Your whiskers hurt. Thank goodness she's safe. It's my fault. I was the one who got Aerith involved in all this. Don't say that. Aerith doesn't think so. Cloud. You're going after Aerith, right? Then I'm coming with you. We're going right into Shinra headquarters. You gotta be prepared for the worst. You know, right now, I feel like I have to push myself to the limit. If I stayed here, I'd go fucking crazy. I won't let them have it their way. Good. I'm coming too. Sorry, but can you take care of Marlène a bit longer, madame? Yes, I don't mind. This place is dangerous now. You better go somewhere else. You're right. But promise me that you'll come back to her. Don't get yourself killed. Oui, madame.
Good luck, Daddy!
I'll be back soon. Je t'aime, ma puce.
Je t'aime, Daddy!
I hope your house will be better decorated. Well, oh, fuck me, I'm sorry, it's 10 PM. The dailies are resetting. We're gonna get some more screens to go through, I'm sorry, all. The house will be decorated exactly the way they decorated it, Elmira and Aerith. And actually, you know, like, I've been starting my homework for... Sorry, y'all. For those of y'all who just joined, on Tuesday is another special stream. We'll be playing 14, and we'll finally have been talking about this since we started this here little project of ours. We'll be decorating my house in Final Fantasy 14, trying to remake Elmira and Aerith's house. I'm gonna base myself on the remake version. You know, obvious reasons. It's just we see a lot more of it. It's easier to just walk around and shit. And so that's on Tuesday evening. It'll be exciting. It'll be fun. I have no idea how it's gonna go. I've never done housing stuff in Final Fantasy 14 just yet. But you know, we'll figure stuff out together. It'll be fun. We'll see how it goes. Maybe it'll look absolutely terrible, but We'll have fun with it. We'll have fun with it. That's all my, you know, like logging bonuses and shit. Will be just a second. So again, if you were playing Ever Crisis on your phone or on the Steam version like tonight, but with a computer that is not from the pre-war era, this is like June on Tech I'm running real, so normally this whole thing goes a lot faster. It's not all, you know. Infiltrating the Shinra building. So yeah, again, we are, you know, like the story's moving a lot faster. We are actually, with this, we have caught up where we're at in the 7, our OG 7 playthrough. Don't worry, we won't get as far as where we're at in Rebirth, but, you know, we will be going through well, not the same, but this timeline a lot faster than we do the other ones. Using the cracks formed by the pillar's collapse, they climb the plate and make their way to the Shinra building to rescue Aerith. Is this, do you all think, I don't want to read too much into this, but you know, in OG, the way we did that was just like climb the little thingy just outside Wool Market, whereas, you know, in Remake, it was this whole thing where we climbed the thing and fought our way through and shit with grappling guns. To me, this very simple, you know, like narrative phrase to not show us, not have to do too many scenes so that we can move with the story, sounds more like the Remake version of events than it does the OG. But it might just be me really wanting this story to diverge more from OG, which, again, you know, like I keep saying, and well, you guys are seeing this if you've seen me play OG or if you've played OG yourself. So far, it is very, 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 very fucking similar to OG. But, you know, I have faith that it will diverge. And I think there are little hints like this, that it already is, you know. No whispers, though. We haven't seen any whispers in Ever Crisis so far. Maybe because this timeline is too close to the original one. Maybe because in the weird multiverse thing, you know, their killing of the Whisper Harbinger, how do you pronounce that word? Harbinger, already happened. Let's bust through the front! Saving Aerith comes first. We're going through the back, quietly. Sounds good, huh? As they make their way through the building, they eavesdrop on a meeting of Shinra's board of directors. We have the damage estimates for Sector 7. Considering those factories we already set up, and all the investments, the damage is estimated at approximately 10 billion gil. The estimated cost to rebuild Sector 7 is... We're not rebuilding. We're leaving Sector 7 as it is. And restarting the Neo Midgar plan. Hojo isn't there. That's interesting. The promised land will soon be ours. Not only that, I want you to raise the macro rates by 15% in every area.
Rate hike, tralala, and please include our space program in the budget!
Reeve and Scarlet will divide the extra income from the rate increase.
Oh, man.
Sir, if you raise the rates, the people will lose confidence. There's no need for concern. The ignorant citizens won't lose confidence. In fact, they'll trust Shinra Incorporated even more.
After all, we're the ones who saved Sector 7 from Avalanche!
Damn. That dirty connard fils de pute. Hojo, how's the girl? Did he walk in the middle of the meeting in OG and Remake? I feel like he was kind of there from the beginning, no?
As a specimen, she is inferior to her mother, Ifalna. I'm still in the process of comparing them, but for now, that difference is 18%. 33,814 days, or would 120 years be easier for you to comprehend? Regardless, it's probably impossible to finish in our lifetime, or in the lifetime of the specimen too, for that matter.
Alright, that's a big difference from what happened in Remake, y'all. Check this out.
We can't wait that long. I'll make her talk.
Thank you, Numa. I know you like it.
She's an important specimen. She must be treated carefully, but don't worry, I have a plan. We're thinking of, breeding her. Then, we could create one that could withstand our research for a long time, thus allowing us to make progress more quickly.
Very well. I'll leave that to you. And don't concern yourself with the funding. I want progress.
Of course. I already have a mate prepared.
Well, that concludes our meeting.
Something stinks.
Say, if y'all remember how this... They were talking about Aerith, right? Probably. That Hojo guy. I know him. He's in charge of the Shinra's science department. This is the first time I've actually ever seen him. So, that's what the fucker looks like. Let's follow him. Yeah, I think that's the menu. If y'all remember how this went down in Remake, it was different. There was talk of breeding Aerith, but Hojo, you know, went on about taking soldier candidates, and he actually dropped the soldier type G or soldier type S. I think it was G and S, which I have no idea what that is. So, you know, exciting! Whereas here, he clearly has something more precise in mind, or in any case, that meeting went very, very differently from how it did in Remake. Exciting. I'm not gonna say how it goes in... Excuse me. In, I'm gonna change outfits, I can't help it, I'm sorry, y'all. In OG, since we haven't done it together just yet, but, you know, we shall soon find out. Probably next Sunday, actually, I guess is OG time. Look at this, he looks like a badass, I don't know, with a lot of shoulder padding, but then again, you know, Nomura-san likes shoulder armor for some reason, so this was probably done to honor him. Matt Windsor. He's one of Glenn's bugs that I was telling you guys about earlier. We'll meet them all soon enough on this here channel. Just you wait. But Matt is cool as fuck. Like, he fights with he has a sword in his right hand and then a gun in his left hand. And it's kind of like, you know. I just love it so fucking much. Alright, so this is gonna be our first dungeon sequence of the night. Again, because we're doing it this way, I've actually already cleared this dungeon, so you might notice that the chests are open and all of that. Please don't let that throw you off. In order to find out where Aerith is being kept, they decide to follow Hojo. Okay, let's go. What? See? Ooh, nice. I didn't remember I could move with, you know, WASD. That's actually really pleasant. So the outfit I just changed Cloud into is kind of the... So there's, like, so far, how do you get outfits in this game? There's 3 possibilities. The first one is you get some through playing the story. This has actually only ever happened with First Soldier so far, but it happens... I'm not gonna say that since we'll play that game soon, but you know. So what I'm saying is that there's precedent for them giving us outfits in the main story. So what we're, you know, the mode we're playing right now. That's... oh, wait, there's a terminal there. The other one, I'd say kind of the main... Actually, let me save the main one for last. The second one is sometimes they give them away, not for free, you have to actually play it, the event, but when there's limited time events. So for instance, you guys have seen my Aerith, you know, bathsuit. I know. But I also have Zack's, and Zack's swimsuit was free. So Aerith, I spent actual currency, you know, I pulled on a banner, what we say in the gacha world, whereas Zack's beach outfit was just given away if you played enough of the event. In the same vein, I also have a little chocobo disguise for Aerith, that was the Halloween free costume, and I love that one. I have a VII from Final Fantasy IX outfit for Lucia, so one of the people that hang out with Glenn in that story we're gonna play together soon. But those are extremely rare for, you know, like... Because, alright, the main way usually to get outfits for your characters in this game is to actually pull on banners. So, you know, the main gacha thing, where you either spend the currency you earn by playing the game, or you spend actual money, right?
Is this today's specimen? Yes, we're starting right away. Raise it to the upper level now.
Understood.
You recognize who this is? My precious specimen. You're gonna have some fun tonight.
Whoa, that thing's huge!
Precious specimen. Is it going to be used for some kind of a biological experiment? It's our boy Radio.
Ooh, and that's our girl Jennifer. What?
Jennifer. Sephiroth's. So, they've brought it here. Cloud, stay focused.
This is creepy. Let's get out of here.
Yeah. Weirdness when Cloud gets close to Genova, just like in Remake. Outfits! Yes, we're gonna talk about outfits in Ever Crisis! This is fun! And the final way, so the main way is by actually spending your currency, right, on banners, and then you get outfits. That's how I got Tifa's Amaranth's outfit, that's how I got Aerith's swimsuit, and that's how I got Tifa's cowboy outfit from the Nibelheim flashback that I don't believe I've shown you guys yet. Well, I do have it. And one last way is that you can, each character has one 5-star outfit that you can get using a voucher. And this voucher, so far anyway, since the game started, we had one at the very start. I don't know if it's because I was a Day Zero player or if new players actually get one these days. I couldn't tell you that. But I got one. And the outfit that Cloud's wearing now is his like alternate outfit with the big shoulder pads. Aerith! Aerith? Oh, is that her name? What do you want? We're taking Aerith back. Outsiders.
Should have noticed it earlier, you dumb piece of shit.
There are so many frivolous things in this world. Are you gonna kill me? I don't think you should. The equipment here is extremely delicate. Without me, who could operate it, That's right. I recommend you think things out logically before you make any rash moves. Now, bring in the specimen.
What the fuck? Cloud, help! What do you think you're doing?
Lending a helping hand to an endangered species. A protector and an ancient, both on the brink of extinction.
Yes, this is where the story is going. Welcome to Final Fantasy VII, y'all.
If I don't help, all these animals will disappear.
Animal. It's terrible! Aerith is a human being! Alright, we're up. Alright! My time to shine!
Stop! What are you doing? Oh, my precious specimens!
Aerith! Thanks, Cloud. What's wrong? The elevator is moving.
This is no ordinary specimen. This is a ferocious beast. He's rather strong. I'll chill out.
Huh? It talked!
I'll talk as much as you want later, miss.
What's your name?
Told you was named me Rad 13. A name with no meaning whatsoever to me. Call me whatever you wish.
Alright. Come on. Red's just joined the fray, yo. Usual FF illiterate questions. How does Ever Crisis fit into the whole 7 landscape? It's not at all. There are many FF literate people that wouldn't know. It's a great question, Numax. So thanks for asking it. So it is yet another version. Like, you know, you might have noticed that this is the. Sorry, let me answer your second question first because the answer will be shorter. This mobile game, yes, absolutely. Like its initial version is on mobile, so both Android and iOS. And this is just, they just made a Steam port of it, and you have seamless integration between the two, right? So like, this is my save, but I mostly play on my phone when I'm not with you guys. So you can also play it on PC, but, you know, it's meant to be a mobile game, right? Do keep in mind that this is just a port of a mobile game. No, as to how it fits within the the whole 7, you know, meta fucking weirdness thing, that's the thing. So, wait, no, sorry, I should... First, so, again, on the meta level, it's a gacha game where it's not just the main Final Fantasy VII story, they are actually redoing, just like what we're watching right now is a retelling of the 7 story in Ever Crisis mode, right? They are also doing, in parallel, Crisis Core, which originally came out on PSP and was remade for the PS4, and First Soldier, who's a brand new exclusive, featuring, even starring I should say, Glenn, who's a character that is now in Rebirth, even though he was created specifically for Ever Crisis. So, each, and the long-term plan is that each game that ever came out in the Final Fantasy VII universe will be released, you know, in this format, so that there is one place, you know, one ring to rule them all sort of deal, where, you know, new players can go through all the stories eventually in Ever Crisis mode. The, you know, obvious goal being to touch a new audience so that people want to play the other games next. And if you allow me a quick, you know, like, side note there, one of the really exciting things for me, and, you know, FF nerds, is that there is a Final Fantasy VII game called Final Fantasy VII Before Crisis, which is a prequel featuring the Turks, that was never released in the West, and they have said that, you know, they plan on eventually making it, like, you know, it's gonna make its way into Ever Crisis. So it'll be the first time that we Westerners, who don't speak Japanese and could not play the Japanese version back then, will get to experience that story, and I'm super pumped about that. So that was the meta answer. Now, and also the reason why we're doing this, when again, this is so far, it's extremely close to the OG7 story, so we're just like seeing the same thing twice with different graphics. It's because Nomura has said that this is another possibility for a remake. And, you know, with what happened in Remake, where like the two timelines diverge and are now completely different, what I read this as is that this story is also going to diverge. So, to go back to your initial question, the way it fits into the whole 7 landscape is that it is going to eventually become yet another timeline. So we've got at least two timelines in Rebirth, right? There seems to be two clouds and shit. We've got the OG timeline, and we've got the Ever Crisis timeline that we're experiencing right now. Thanks again for the question, Yuma. It was a great question. Aerith, you alright?
Yeah, I think so. I have a right to choose too. I don't like two-legged things. What are you? An informed question, but difficult to answer. I am what you see. You must have many questions. But first, let's get out of here. I lead the way. I apologize for what happened back there. I was merely acting to throw Ojo off guard. Hey, don't worry about it, friend. No, we've said Iris. Ain't no need to be in this building. So let's get the hell out of here. Cloud. Earth.
Check this out. These guys here, they are soldier third class. Which is a really... I did not notice this the first time I played through this. I thought they were just Shinra Trooper. That's a really nice touch. That's far enough. It must have been a real thrill for you. Did you enjoy yourselves? I get your questions in a second, Rima. Take care of them. Oh, check this out. They redrew him. Did they redo this scene? I did not remember all those neat details. Follow me. Again, this is different in Remake. I don't know if you guys remember, but we actually like retire to Aerith's old room, and we don't actually get captured like we just did just now. They never get enough of the 7 matter. Why are there so many 7-based games? Because it's popular. Well, yes, because it's popular is the obvious kind of like capitalistic answer to it. I do think there's more to it though. It is... So, FF7 was the first AAA game in video game history. It's a really big deal, not just for FF nerds, but for FF nerds specifically. It was kind of my first. It's the first one I played, and that's the case for a great many people. Like 7 just reached, like global sales level and shit that were unheard of before in the series. So it really has left a strong mark on many players, and there are so many in the FF fandom. There are so many people that will tell you that 7 is their absolute favorite, so it makes sense. But I also want to say that, the lore is amazing, and I feel like maybe, old-timers like Kitase-san and Nomura-san maybe wanted to revisit it, you know what I mean? Like, it's just sometimes when you like create worlds for a living, and you know that you're gonna have to move on and then create new worlds as part of your fucking career, right? I think sometimes some of them stick more with you, and this is probably why there's been so much effort and, like manpower going into 7-related content. But yeah, this is the fanboy talking, and I'm not blind. Like, of course, it's also because it's popular and there's a lot of money to be made. Like, they just know that 7 shit is gonna work because people fucking love 7. But typically the remake, the main one, not Ever Crisis, it's been, fans have been asking for it for years, ever since the PS2 came out, and Square kind of clumsily, I think, they made just a technical demo where they just redid the opening of 7 but with the PlayStation 2 graphics, and every Final Fantasy fan lost their shit thinking that they were gonna do a full remake, which they never did. Are there other FFs like this? Not this magnitude, I guess. Exactly. You're spot on. There are many FFs now have, you know, their little, like, you know, side franchise with other games taking place in the main universe. So 10 has 10-2, 4 has 4 the After Years, 13 is actually a trilogy, which I think, well, 13's development history is a whole mess, we could talk about that, but you know, there's 13 that are kind of a trilogy. So yeah, there's a bunch of examples now, and you know, there is no hard rule for an FF being a standalone thing and shit. Interesting side note, because this is news, extremely recent news. Apparently, for now at least, Yoshi P and Koji Fox, kind of two of the top dogs for Final Fantasy 16, have gone on record saying they are not interested in making any more games in that universe. So 16 might be a proper standalone FF for a longer time than we've seen recently. But yeah, like you say, not of this magnitude. Like 7 alone kind of is, you know, Rebirth is as much of a big deal as 16 is. Like now when a new 7 game drops out, it's like a main title series. It's like, you know, FF7 has branched out into its own proper sub-franchise. And I, for one, I'm very happy with it, especially if the quality of the content is fucking amazing as what we get with Rebirth, for instance. Y'all, I'm gonna go take a real quick break. I will be back in 2 minutes. I still don't know how fucking long my breaks are. I'll be right back. And we're back. Sorry about that, y'all. Again, Numax, thank you so much for the question. This is exactly the type of shit I want to talk about on this here channel. What the fuck is going on with my hair? Oh, that's worse. Whatever. Okay. It's the Viking stream! Yeah, thanks a lot, man. This is exactly the type of shit I want to talk about on this channel. I realize your questions are like, you know, simple and to the point. I always go off on these tangents like, oh, fun fact, we just learned this week that there would be no Final Fantasy 16 too. But you know, what can I say? I'm a nerd. I love this shit. I love this shit. Alright, friends, let's go. We are going to wrap up, you know, the remake version of the Remake Rebirth timeline tonight. I'm excited about that. Will I actually? Morgan, don't start. We'll see. We'll see how far we get. The further we get, the sooner we can do First Soldier together. I'm really excited about that. Alright. You again. I thought you were buried under the plate, but I see that I was wrong. Shit, I'll open the menu again, I'm sorry, y'all. Give it a minute. There we go. Where is Aerith? Aerith? Are you referring to that girl? She's in a safe place. She's the last of the ancients, after all. They called themselves the Citra, and lived thousands of years ago. Now, they are just a forgotten page in history. Remind me, y'all, I have something to say about that. Citra, or the Ancients, will show us the way to the Promised Land. I'm expecting a lot out of her. The Promised Land? Isn't it just a legend? Even so, it's far too appealing not to pursue. It's been said the Promised Land is very fertile. If the land is fertile, then there's gotta be Mako! Exactly. No need for money-bleeding Mako reactors. The abundant Mako will flow out on its own. That is where Neo Midgar will be built. Shinra's new glory. Putain! Quit dreaming! Oh really? Don't you know? These days, all it takes for your dreams to come true is money and power. Well, that is all for our meeting. Stay back. Hold it! I got a lot to say to you! Come with me. I like how Red doesn't have feathers, like... fuck it. What do we do about the four-legged animal? Just, I don't know, leave him. If there's anything else, talk to my secretary. I like how they nailed the, you know, old rich white dude archetype. I'm sorry about the... I guess if you guys look at the chapter names, since I cleared them all before, you might get you know, mini spoilers. I guess if that bothers you, all I can say is try not to check it. So I'm sorry about that. Interesting little known Final Fantasy fact. The first sequel ever planned was actually for Final Fantasy VIII. And I believe they had a draft of the, you know, lore and shit. And it ended up being cancelled. And, you know, now they've done so many sequels and other games set in other Final Fantasy universes and shit. But they never went back to that VIII sequel. Which, you know, maybe it's for the best. Sometimes when something is perfect, you just don't do a sequel of it. I think 8 is perfect. I have an 8 tattoo. I don't know if you guys can see it. Think we can get out? Well... Yeah, I got you, Tifa. Whatever happens, just leave it to me. Because these guys are prisoners, but, you know, they left the dangerous man his gigantic sword. Because that makes sense. Cloud, you were so brave. It's so quiet. I wonder how the others are doing. I wonder if they're alright. Barret or Red? It's weird, right? They've just met. Of course he's worrying about his Paul first. I wonder if Barret's alright. Ah, sorry, Krieger. Too late. I'd already clicked, man. I'm sorry. I'll give it more time next time around. Good! I think! If you're tired, go to bed, man! Hey! Iris is an enchant, and the real name of the enchants is the Cetra. The enchants know where the Promised Land is, and Shinra is searching for that Promised Land. People have only heard stories about the Promised Land, and no one knows if it even really exists. Is that right? Shinra believes that the Promised Land is full of Mako energy, which means if Shinra gets there, they'll suck up all the Mako energy, and the land will wither away. The planet's gonna get weaker. I can't just leave MP. I'm recruiting new members. Me, Tifa, Claude, and Iris too. How about you? You're so damn boring. I wonder if they're alright. There you go, guys. We're gonna get the red cutscene. You know what he had for dinner, Max? It's in his name. He's had radish. I wonder if Red 13's alright. Grandpa. Grandpa? Grandpa. Oh, it's so funny. Nothing. That was a good cutscene! I can't help but wonder where they took Aerith. Cloud, are you there? Aerith, you safe? Yeah, I'm alright. I knew that Cloud would come for me. Hey, I'm your bodyguard, right? The deal was for one date, right? Oh, I get it. Tifa? Tifa, you're there too! How fucking great, sister! Excuse me. Ciao, you know, Aerith, I have a question for you. What? Does the Promised Land really exist? I don't know. All I know is the Citra were born from the planet. Speak with the planet and unlock the planet. And then the Citra will return to the Promised Land. A land that promises, that's why we call it the Promised Land, yeah, you following? It promises supreme happiness, yeah? What does that mean? I don't know much more than that, honestly. Speak with the planet? Just what does the planet say? It's full of people, and noisy as fuck. That's why I can't make out what they're saying most of the time. You hear it right now? I only heard it at the church, in the slums. Mother said that Midgar was no longer safe. Someday, I'll get out of Midgar, speak with the planet, and find me promised land, yeah? That's what Mom said. That is my real mom. My thoughts are getting a bit jumbled. I need a little bit of time to think, yeah? You guys give me a minute, will you? I guess that there's not much we can do, Cloud. You've got cards? Yeah, might as well get some rest. Just a plate of spaghetti with radish sauce. So, real talk, no fellas. You can make amazing fucking pesto with the leaves from your radishes. The vegan version that I do is with cashew nuts, which not great for ethical reasons. Don't eat cashews, but I'm sure you can do the same with any of these, nuts that have plenty of fat in it. You just make a cream out of that, and you mix it with the leaves from your radish, and it gives it that little like edgy, feeling thing. It's really fucking great. Some garlic in there, boom, there you go. Amazing fucking pesto that you can eat even if you don't have what do you call it? Basilico? No, how do you say basilic in English? I don't know. Wait. It could be spaghetti with radish sauce. That's a thing. That's really fucking good. I'll make it for you guys if you come here during the summer. Shit, where were we at? That was the full story, right? Yes, because we haven't chosen our characters in forever. Trail of Blood. Alright, and since we get to choose, let me show you guys the cute little outfits I've got for Red. Wait, can I not change their outfits? Yeah, I can. Oh my god, it's so fucking laggy. Well, alright, so this is one, right? It's just a recolor of his original skin, but I think it looks so fucking cool. I love that. But what I wanted to show you guys was... because Square Enix loves beachwear, my friends, ladies and gentlemen, live with Morgan Zanen. This is Red 13 in a little Hawaiian shirt. How fucking great is that? Alright, let's go kick some ass now. Oh lord! And again, like, funny thing, in Rebirth, Red is the one that didn't change into swimwear, yet for Ever Crisis they made him an actual, like, beachwear outfit. Proof that another possibility for a remake, it's not the same timeline, because in Ever Crisis' timeline, Red apparently, obviously likes the beach. Interesting. Who said the events were not canon? Looks like Krieger's dressing room, debatable tastes. Be careful, Numax is a moderator now. He can time you out, brother. The door's open. When did it open? Where's the guard? What's happened? Is this a fucking train guy? What's the train guy doing here? Tifa, wake up! What's wrong? Something's wrong. Look outside. There. Oh god, Krieger. Do not abuse your power, Krieger. I gave it to you. I can take it back. I'm like the Whispers and you're like Cloud. That was a terrible example. You beat me up. That's not what we are. I am Nomura-san and you're Cloud. It's more like it. What the fuck? What could have happened? I don't know. Let's go find the others. Oh no, I guess he was like the jailer or something. Wait, shit, did you actually time him out? Hold on. I'm sorry, I'll give me 1 second. I'm gonna try and get Numax back. thanks, Ria. Thanks a lot for you know, all your hard work on this here channel. Really appreciate it, man. What would I do without you? Alright. Mod view. Come on. Just waiting for Twitch to load up. Alright, there I am. Yeah. I'm trying Krieger. I didn't have the. I usually do when I'm on the PlayStation. I have. Okay, you got him back. Awesome, thank you. No, don't be sorry. This is fun. Welcome back, New Max. I'm Yeah, I know. That's one strike. 3 strikes, and you're my moderator, and I'll remove all power from Krieger. Kaliski. Tifa, get RF. I'll go ahead Barret and Red. If you got one key, how does it make sense to split up at this point, Cloud? Right. What? How'd you get in? What is it? Come with me. Something's very wrong. What happened? Were they attacked? This is kinda eerie. What the hell's going on? No human could have done this. I'll go on ahead. We can't let him go alone. Come on. I don't know if you'll remember, but when we were at that sequence in Remake, it's one of the rare times where I told you guys I like the OG version better. And well, we're gonna see the Ever Crisis version and next Sunday probably the OG version. Well, yeah, I just even here with the chibi characters and shit. I don't know about you guys, but I feel a lot of pressure. I actually really like that scene of, you know, like, I don't know, it's so fucking, you know, vivid for me. Like, you've been taken captive by the big bad, and you just wake up in your cell, and your door's open, and you kind of like wander out, and then like all the bad guys are just like dead on the floor, and you have no fucking idea what's going on. And you know, there's this very strong, well, I guess it's a common trope, right, for the beginning of a story. Like, you establish, and I wouldn't say villain, but that's not the term, but you know, like the thing that will oppose your main characters, right? And then very early on, you kind of like create this thing where that person gets fucking, you know, like, blasted off by some other, more mysterious entity that is clearly even more evil, if that makes any sense. I really, really like that trope. It is fairly common in Final Fantasy. This is blood. It leads over there. I think I did tell you guys about the blood trial. So the interesting thing, also, yeah, we have not at all discussed the extremely gross thing. Ojo wanted Red and Aerith to, you know, mate, which is super fucked up, and something they decided to remove in Remake, which I feel is like, you know, when we were playing through the Wall Market section of OG, I was like, damn, I not remember it being this dark, and, you know, like, it kind of makes Remake and Rebirth feel, I don't want to say whitewashed, but they've actually smoothed out some of the edges, right? Like, the places where the story got the darkest, they've actually made kind of more, you know, like, more light. Again, it's not censorship of any form. I just find that interesting that in 1997, making a very crude... It's not even a joke, like, it's supposed to gross you out. It's not just comic relief, right? It's also just... you know, it's supposed to be unsettling and unhealthy and pervy and you know, not supposed to be happy reading this shit. But, you know, they were like, nah, that's too much. Let's not do the whole thing where, like, Red and Aerith are supposed to have sex. I found that interesting, you know. In light of the whole... if you think about this through the whole, you know, cancel culture prism, I'm not saying that that's what it is. I don't think that's what it is. Like, there's clearly stuff in there that's, you know... But, I don't know. I think it's very telling the things they've chosen to change. Like, just how dark and deep and fucking, you know, like, bleh, World Market got in OG. And this little thing with Hojo wanting Red and Aerith to breed. You know, that didn't make the cut, somehow. I think that's very telling and interesting and worth thinking about. No. This is a horrible... He works here, doesn't he?
Yes. It seems he was eliminated by an unknown entity.
The pod. It's been destroyed. And it's empty. You think whoever did this took what was inside? What was that thing anyway?
Hojo referred to it as the Genova specimen. Now, what that is, I don't know.
Why are they bleeding blue though? What's the fuck? We've got company. Didn't we just kill it? Huh. Oh. Hey! Didn't we already deal with this guy? They must have regenerated. Then we defeat it again, and as many times as it takes. Except for the time it takes us, like, alright. We can do this a few times. It'll be alright. Oh fuck, Red changed out of his beach wear and back into the red and black look. Hey, what's upstairs? Let's go find out. Come on. Why though? Like, you know, isn't like the enemy of my enemy my friend or something? Why do they want to go check it out? They've got Aerith, they've got Red. Get the fuck out of here, people! Don't follow the trail of blood. Center of the world. The president's demise. There's gonna be a line here, guys, that I've been building up to this a lot when we played the other versions of the game. What the fuck? He's dead. The head of Shinra is dead. Then this word must be Sephiroth's. Sephiroth is alive. Looks like it. Only he could use a sword like that. Now, my friends, look at this shit. Do you remember how in the Nibelheim flashback, Tifa like grabs the Masamune, like the longest sword that Sephiroth uses, and just like runs into the Nibelheim reactor with it. So I guess, and you know, okay, all right, maybe it all makes, maybe it's a timeline thing, right? Like in Rebirth, it's not that weird to have a 2.5 meters long katana, and Tifa can totally manage it, and it's just an OG/Ever Crisis thing. But I still feel like there's, I mean, to be honest, I think, I'm not sure, I might, you know, it might be one of those like fake memories where you just think back on stuff and project what you know, think about it. But I honestly think even Kid Morgan, when I played through this, you know, I kind of, at that line, or very similar, we'll see it in OG very soon, but like, it was like, I'm sorry, Cloud, how do you mean? Like, yes, it's a very long sword, it does not sound very practical. That being said, you know, like, it's a piece of metal with a sharp point and then, you know, like, edges. Like, anybody can take a 2-meter sword and just, like, pierce a fat white dude in the belly. You know, that line has never made any sense to me. Like, this is Sephiroth's sword, therefore Sephiroth is alive. I don't know, bro. Like, you know, sometimes I find some of my late dog's toys hanging around and I don't go, oh my god, he must be alive, this is his toy. No, he's gone. Like, weird, right? I'm sorry. You know, it's been, I've been meaning to go on my rant about this fucking line. And when I saw Tifa pick up the fucking Masamune in the Rebirth Nibelheim flashback, guys, I was like, to the point where I wonder, you know, was that actually precisely an in-joke for crazy motherfuckers like me who always took issue with that one line in the very early game, and you know, they kind of gave that, like, you know, a bone to feed us, like, weirdos, like, yeah, okay, that line was a little weird, there you go, anybody can actually use that sword, it's fine. I'm done. Thank you. This is Morgan Zainon. Please subscribe. You can't subscribe yet. Please follow. Who cares who did it? This is the end of Shina. You!
Please don't kill me.
What happened?
Sephiroth came.
Did you see him? Did you see Sephiroth?
Yeah, I saw him with my own eyes.
You really saw him?
Will I lie at a fucking time like this? I heard his voice too. I said something about not letting us have the promised land.
The promised land.
Then, doesn't that mean it really does exist? And that Sephiroth's here to save it from Shinra? So, he's a good guy then?
Save the promised land? A good guy?
No way.
It's not that simple, okay? I know him. Sephiroth's mission is different. What? Another helicopter? Putain! I forgot about him! Him? Yeah, him! The president's son. Vice-President Rufus. Again, you know, different. I fucking love that. Like, so, if you remember from Remake, Palmer did see Sephiroth, but then he was all freaked out and did not really tell anybody, and we did not, you know, there was that exchange did not happen. Actually, what happened at this specific point in Remake, if you'll remember, was extremely weird, is that Sephiroth killed Barret, and then the Whispers brought him back. And see, that's, like, not what happened in Ever Crisis. Different stories. And again, I don't want to talk about OG too much, but we'll be playing OG next Sunday, so try and keep all we're seeing tonight in mind, so that next week we can compare that bit too. Radore is a place we visit in First Soldier. Well, you can probably guess from the little thing. have an accent for Rufus. So, Sephiroth was actually here. By the way. Just who the fuck are you? I'm Cloud, ex-soldier first class. I'm from Avalanche. Me too, I'm like a flower girl, from the slums? I was a research specimen. Wow. What a crew. Well, I'm Rufus, the president of Shinra Incorporated. I'll let you hear my inauguration speech. Interesting, isn't it? Father tried to control the world with money, and that worked for him. The people believed that Shinra would protect them. Work at Shinra, get you pay. If terrorists attack, the Shinra army will help you. It looked perfect on the outside, but I do things differently. Instead, I control the world with fear. It costs way too much to eat like my old man. A little fear will control the minds of the common people. There's no reason to waste good money on them. I'm nothing like the old man. He likes it to make speeches just like the old man though. Alright, get Aerith out of the building. This is the real crisis for the planet. What the hell is that supposed to mean? I'll explain later. Just take my word for it now. I'll go after I take care of him. Alright, Claude. Be careful. See you soon. Cloud. Why do you want to fight me? You want the Promised Land and Sephiroth. That's right. Did you know that Sephiroth is an ancient? Very nice. We did not get that in Remake. In the Nibelheim flashback, what we had was Genova confirmed as an ancient when Sephiroth was researching stuff in the Shinra Manor, right? And then he seems to think that Genova's his mom, so that kind of made him an ancient, but it also raises the fucking question of like, why do Aerith, well Aerith I guess is human blood, but her mom looked like a regular person, right, in that Elmira flashback. Genova, I guess we don't really know what the fuck Genova looks like, but those weird fucking things that we've been fighting in Remake and Rebirth that are tied with Genova, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is really fucking interesting. Also, what's the deal with, oh, Aerith's mom was the last living full-blooded ancient if Sephiroth is an ancient. Although I guess they were assuming he was dead. So maybe that's why. Still, you know, there's something wonky going on here. And, you know, what really grinds my gear... No, wait, is that... Is one thing grinds your gear, does that mean it annoys you or gets you excited? What gets me really excited is the differences between the three timelines. This right there is a bit of info that's, like, totally not given to us in that way, so fucking, you know, like, it's really spelled out for us in this here timeline. Which, of course, does not mean that the same would be true, or that Rufus would say the same thing in Rebirth. It's also very apparent that Rufus is a completely different character, at least to me. The whole thing with fear, I think, you know, they've captured in Rebirth when he decides to shoot the cannon for no fucking reason, even though it violates the ceasefire with Wutai. You know, he is that kind of dude, like, he's the fucking Kim Jong-un of Shinra and shit, sure. But, you know, here it really comes across as a lot more of absolutely, you know, like, mustache-twirling villain, like the real fucking tyrant that you just want to shoot right in the head. Whereas in Rebirth, they gave him that weird, you know, like, yeah, my dad did things one way, I'm gonna do things another way, so, like, you guys piss off, take care of Sephiroth for me, and we're cool. And here it's the opposite, right? Cloud is like, you want the Promised Land and Sephiroth? Answer, yes. Exact, you know, totally different. Totally different. I'm excited, this is fun. Whatever. I can't let either you or Sephiroth have the Promised Land. I also feel like Cloud's a lot more... That might be me though. How can I say this? He seems like he really knows or thinks he knows what's going down and he knows how to fight it and stuff. Whereas I feel like in Remake Rebirth he's a lot more confused about everything that happens, isn't he? He's always like, I don't really fucking know. You ruined the mood of the stream. Yes, you did, Krieger. Look at this. Everybody's gone because of you, man. don't be, bro. It's totally fine. I just hope Numax is not offended. But I'm sure he's not. It's all in good fun. When I'm like famous and we have 400 people watching us, don't pull shit like that. But for now, it's all good, brother. It's all good. I see. We won't be allies then. Interesting. Alright, so I guess they did... Again, like, when this was released, Rebirth hadn't been, right? Just how much do the devs... So, of course, like, Nomura is involved with both Rebirth and Ever Crisis, obviously. He does it as well. Many, I think, very senior, you know, higher-ups. But the people that actually do the you know... I don't know. I don't know just how much they knew about where Rebirth was in development and shit. Like, can we read this as a little wink wink nudge nudge to that weird scene in Rebirth where Rufus was all like, yo, let's make a pact? I don't know. I might be reading too much into it. I don't want to do that. I totally want to do that. It's literally the only thing I do. Well, time's up. It was kind of pleasant to one-shot both of these motherfuckers. I'm sorry, Darkstar. I don't know why I'm calling you a motherfucker. You're just a dog. Or are you? Probably not. You're probably a dog with a little bit of Genova in you, aren't you? As presidents, I have more important things to do. Wait. Cloud! Tifa? Why the fuck did you come back? I was worried, but I'm glad that you're alright. Where's the Rufus? I couldn't finish him off. This is gonna get complicated now. Okay. Hurry, we don't have much time. You give up your manager's salary? Nah, honestly, man, you know, it's fine. You really don't cost me all that much. For this month. Alright, cool. I'll take my €0 back, thank you. Or I guess you can just deduce it from my eternal debt, material debt to you. No, let's cross that bridge when we get to it. I was gonna talk about what's going to happen. What time is it? Yeah, we've got over an hour left, so we're definitely gonna finish remake. Look, friends! This is the Nibelheim flashback outfit. And the matching gloves. And if you saw those, like... I said you for free. Welcome back, Numax. I'm sorry my friends are fascists. It's not my fault. You know what they say, you choose your family, but you don't choose your friends. My friends are de droite. Not all of them. With what to move? I'll go on ahead. Especially the military-minded. You know, ironically, the only person in our group of friends who is with the military is probably one of the most left-leaning in the whole group, so... Putain! We're surrounded! No, don't skip! If I was alone, this wouldn't be a thing.
but I've got a reputation to protect.
Oh really? I thought he timed you out and you couldn't come back. I'm glad you were with us, Urex. And you're right, we should make him feel bad.
You'll get out when you can, yeah? It's not you they're after, it's me. Yeah, well that ain't happening. You got caught up in this over Marlene. No, it's my turn to help you. Also, your mom is babysitting for free, so I kinda feel like I have to get you home, yeah? Okay, playtime's over, jackasses.
Thank you, Mr. Barrett. Oh shit, that was...
Who you calling Mr. Barrett? That doesn't sound right. Well then, if you're through talking, may I suggest that we think of a way out of here? Huh. Oh yeah. You're cold, man. Just like someone else around here, I know. Did you say something? Not a thing. So, what are we gonna do?
Barrett, everyone, over here.
Tifa, where's Claude? Huh? What's up? Where's Claude?
He's a-comin', hurry, hurry! Presto, presto! That's Italian, right? Presto? I love their faces. They just shit in like... I wish the music could be louder. Alright, my friends. They escape the Shinra building and head for the outskirts of Midgar. They race down the highway as they evade their pursuers. Just as they're nearing the edge of Midgar, a large robot, the final enemy chasing them, draws near.
The hell? So this is as far as we go? They were never going to let us get away so easily.
We have no choice. Let's take it the fuck down.
You alert the man? You ready?
Let's teach them to leave us alone for a good.
All help.
Okay, let's do this. This is the end of the remake section in the Remake Rebirth version of things. And well, no, I don't want to say too much. Very, very different once again. Let's not talk about how it is in OG, because we'll see that together next week. But you know, if you remember the end of Remake, at this point in the story, or well, right after we kill this thing, it goes bonkers, right? Like fucking Whisper Storm and killing Fate and all that shit. Whereas here, no sign of a Whisper. We also saw Sephiroth on the top floor of the building, holding Genova? Was it Genova? Everything made it sound like it was Genova, but look. We're out of Midgar. No whispers whatsoever. Different timelines, my friends. Different timelines.
Well, what do we do now?
Sephiroth is alive. I have to settle the score.
Will that save the planet?
It seems so.
Then I'm going.
I'll go too. There are things I need to know. About the ancients. Many things, Cloud. Midgar in the back. This is beautiful. I love this game. I guess it's a goodbye, Midgar. This is the start of our journey. Looks like. Oh. Oh, I'm gonna give it a minute this time. You hate traveling or it's dangerous? You sure you wanna go? And I'll give you guys a minute in case you have a clear preference between option A and option B. The interesting thing is that actually when you look at the little gang we got, well, at this stage who the fuck knows where Red is from, but you know, I think you'll won't be shocked if I say that it's a safe assumption to say he's not from Midgar. We know Cloud and Tifa are from Nibelheim, so not Midgar. Oh, we've got very little information on Barret as well. I guess you could think he's a Midgar native at this point. What we do know for sure, though, is that Aerith grew up, you know, in Shinra, in the fucking research lab, escaped when she was a kid, and then, you know, lived out with Elmira from when she was a kid to now, which is why is she like 20-something. So her and Barret, we know for sure that Tifa and Cloud, you know, are not from Midgar originally, so they've already left. I think it's a safe assumption that Red has left before. But these two we don't know, right? Or Aerith, even, it's a safe assumption that she's never left Midgar. And actually in Rebirth she said things to that, you know, can confirm this, like she was weird about there being a sky, like an open sky and stuff, because she'd never seen the sky. Imagine that, Alright, it's dangerous, you sure you want to go? It'll be dangerous, you sure you want to go? I think that was what I just said. It should be alright, if you keep your promise. Aerith, you nervous? Yeah. This is the first time I've ever left Midgar. Alright, I'm sorry, she just said it. Is that so? Are you scared or are you worried? Are you scared sounds kind of aggressive, doesn't it? Like, you scared, little girl? Are you worried? It's a fair question, right? If you're with one of your friends the first time they leave whatever comfort zone they've never left, I don't know that called Midgar a comfort zone, but you know what I'm saying? You'd go like, you worried? Not you scared? I guess it could be a benevolent, are you scared? I might still go with worried. Speak now or shut up forever! Are you worried? A little, eh? Maybe a lot. But I have a bodyguard, right? We told Aerith's mom to go somewhere safe, so Maren should be safe too. Yeah, it should be, of course. We're not gonna be a dick. She said she didn't want to stay in Midgar anymore. Maybe it's for the best, eh? What are you gonna do, Red?
I'm going back to my hometown. I'll go with you guys, as far as that.
Okay. Then I guess we're sticking together for a bit longer.
Let's head to Calm. It's close. We'll think of a plan when we get there.
Alright, let's go. So yeah, we've got hard confirms on everything I was saying, which is good, because I didn't want to spoil you guys. Barret knows about Calm, therefore Barret, you know, has been to Calm before, so he's... If he's from Midgar, he's left Midgar before. And Red just mentioned his hometown, so obviously not Midgar, so Red is also from somewhere else. It's actually in this little, you know, like, thing, like, moment we just lived, Aerith is the only one for whom it's something big, right? Every single other character has left Midgar before, at the very least. If not, you know, it's not originally from Midgar, so obviously they've not always been there. Alright, my friends, we've just finished the remake portion of it. We've got 1 hour left. Now, as you see, they have released... Alright, a little bit of a history lesson while I load up what we're gonna do next. there's now 6 chapters that have been released so far in Ever Crisis. When the game was released just a little over 6 months ago, this is where it ended. The 7th part. The 3 new chapters have been released since then. But one thing we did have are these, which is, so they call it story quests, and they are centered on one character, but wasn't created by Shinra in Midgar Labs. Well, yeah, it's a very fair assumption given what we've seen, including in Rebirth, right? But no, if you think back on exactly what we know so far, and right now I'm saying let's mix all our knowledge from all the different Final Fantasy VII versions we've played together, right? Is that he's been a test subject for years, that we know, of Ojo's, but we've never actually had the full, you know, he's been called a specimen, he's been called a protector tonight. I don't know, I did not like make you guys take note of that, but when Ojo was doing his weird, like, you know, bestiality fucking thing, like, I'm gonna make them have sex, now kiss, he said an ancient and a protector. We know who the ancient is, so the protector is red. What the fuck is a protector? Well, we don't know, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't believe that term was used in Remake Rebirth, but that's all we knew. But you know, what's extremely fucking interesting is that both of you guys were thinking that he was actually created, that he, you know, just like Aerith, he'd only grown up in captivity under Ojo or his predecessor, and no, we just have a hard confirm that that's not the case. And you know, this is what I fucking love about this thing, where like we have different you know, different takes on the same story. And you might remember, I keep talking about this, like, should we assume that something we learn in one version that we have not seen in another one is canon unless directly contradicted by the other timeline? My example, my go-to example, but I love that thing so fucking much, is the fact that in Remake, Jessie is, you know, like a rich girl. She grew up topside, her dad works for Shinra, and she just kind of went all, you know, Avalanche at some point and moved to the slums. That's not in OG, but personally, I choose, you know, to believe that that is also her backstory in OG. It's just that they didn't have the screen time to do that. Now we have another example of that. We know for a fact, he just said hometown. Also, you know, he was mumbling about his grandpa, about his granddad, which is something he hasn't done in Remake Rebirth. So we have more information on Red in this one timeline, in the Ever Crisis timeline. Does that mean we should apply it to Rebirth? I guess not. We don't have enough info just yet to do that. But yeah, we have confirmation that your intuition, that was very valid, and I'd even say, you know, it's what made the most sense. Like, we've never met a creature like Red. Again, mixing everything we've played together in the 7 universe, he's the first, you know, person like that we've met. So sure, you know, it made sense to think he was a Shinra experiment, but no, apparently he has a hometown and a grandfather, at least in the Ever Crisis timeline. So there you go. That's why I fucking love this, right? Is that we get more playing the, and if you were thinking like, oh, you know, maybe you enjoy it when we play Rebirth on the one hand and OG on the other hand, but tonight you were like, this is all like, if you feel like everything we've seen tonight you'd already seen, well, there you go. No ma'am, no sir, there's new shit everywhere, and I feel like doing all the versions actually, you know, like, gives everything more substance. And again, you know, like back to Jessie, we had Ever Crisis specific scenes with Jessie, and perfect segue, my friends, because what we're gonna do now are these quests. So the Barret one actually was released later. Originally, that was, if I'm sure Barret was released later, but I do believe we had Cloud, Tifa, and Aerith. And so these are, you know, they call them story quests, and they are, as far as I know, and I've spoken about this with some of my, you know, Final Fantasy nerds, including Ever Crisis nerds, and we all agree that what the story we're gonna see now, my friends, is exclusive to Ever Crisis, I think. Even though it is not like First Soldier is exclusive to Ever Crisis, right? This is the characters you know and love, but this is little bits of information we've never had before. So if you'll agree, before we move on with the rest of the main story, I really want to do this with you guys. Actually, I've been speaking about them on stream because I think they are brilliant. They're beautifully written. They're one of the things that I love the fucking most about Ever Crisis, and you'll know how much I love that game. So now I feel it's a good time. It is, you know, chronologically relevant to do at least the Cloud, Tifa, and Aerith stories right now. Maybe we'll keep Barret for later, but let's already, again, we have an hour left. Let's go with those 3 side stories. And well, on the side stories, they're backstories, and then we'll see what we do if we still have time left, if that's alright with you guys. Alright, summary. After what happened in Nibelheim, I found myself at the station in the Sector 7 slums, almost as if I were guided there. I reunited with Tifa, my childhood friend, who had made this place her home, and we quickly began to make up for lost time. Also, you might notice that for now we only have, you know, the one little storyline for each of the characters that it was released for. But they, you know, there's room for there being a lot more. And well, let's play it together. We'll see if you guys get as excited as I do about these. But I'm, you know, this is one of the things I'm the most looking forward to in Ever Crisis, is getting more of those, you know, fucking exclusive stuff. And if you've looked at the events on my YouTube channel, or if you play Ever Crisis and have played for the events, you know, the story in the story events is not all that great. But this, my friends, check this shit out. Hey, look at the Mako Junkie. The one wearing a fancy soldier uniform? Yeah, I see him. You know what that means, right? His sword's gonna be worth a lot of money. He's holding on real tight. Pretty strong for a fucking junkie. He's creeping me out. Forget about it. Come on. Sorry, I feel like I should say, in case the summary wasn't clear, this is a flashback, right? We are back before everything happened, before the main story. This is when Cloud just arrived in Midgar. And the extremely exciting thing, of course, is if you think about the Z timeline, as I've been calling it, the one with Zack. Different, obviously different. Hey, are you alright? If you're okay to walk, you should go and get help from Shinra. I hear they're taking folks like, you know, you. Where was he before, Numa? That's a really big fucking question, isn't it? What we know... Okay, hard info that we have at this point. 5 years ago, he was in Nibelheim, so he went back to his hometown, he met Tifa again, he was with Sephiroth, and then shit hit the fan. Sephiroth went bonkers crazy, they fought, and then we kind of lose track of him, up until he shows up in Midgar. We don't know what he's been doing for 5 years. And we're not supposed to know at this point, so that's all I say. However, what we're seeing right this scene there, unless I'm mistaken and it was released in some novel or something, but you know, it is in neither OG nor Remake Rebirth. And that's why this is fucking brilliant. This is the first time, you know, we like get in touch with what the fuck Cloud was getting up to. But yeah, there's a 5-year gap there, we don't know. And even the 5-year figure, you know, I don't know if you remember, but in Remake, Tifa was weird about that. When Cloud was like, it's been 5 years since we saw each other, she was like, 5 years? And of course we know from Rebirth that they don't remember things the same way and shit. Like, there's a whole, you know, things went weird 5 years ago, we have no idea what Cloud's been doing for 5 years. More and more people like him these days. I hope he gets the help he needs. You're a good person, dude. He did tell him to go to Shinra for help, but to be fair, I think that's just kind of what you do when you live in that society. I don't think we can blame him. Poor thing. A lot of compassion in Midgar, right? People in Paris do not give a fuck. Holy shit, are you alright? Tifa? Good night, Numax. Thank you so much for coming, my friend. Have a great night, sweet dreams. And we shall see each other very, very soon. Special stream on Tuesday. We'll be decorating a house in Final Fantasy 14. Yay! I'll try, if I have time, I'll try and dress up again. Thank you for the culture and answers. No, are you kidding? Thank you so much. Thank you for being here, first of all, but also thank you for your questions. They're on point. They are exactly the type of shit I want to talk about. I am so very grateful for all your questions, Umax. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being a wonderful friend. And sweet dreams. Don't have too much Mako tonight.
Tifa.
Are you... Cloud! That's right, I'm Cloud. Cloud Strife. A former Shinra soldier, first class. I'm at the station in the Sector 7 slums, and in front of me is my childhood friend, Tifa. I haven't seen her since I went back home for a mission, my final mission as a soldier. We just got more info, but Numax left, but... So, he's not been with soldiers since Nibelheim, apparently. Interesting. How long has it been? 5 years? What is it? Oh, no, it's nothing. See, she's weird about it again, isn't she? It's just strange seeing you after such a long time. After what happened back home, I was worried about you. I'm really glad you're okay. What? How do you know about that? Again, from what we know. So that's just like they're talking. They're catching up. Cloud is like, you know, fucking cold turkey as fuck. Like, and Tifa's just like, and then I moved to Midgar. I met a girl. Like, her name was Marl, and I'm kind of renting a place. Also, like, I run a bar now. Yeah. A lot's of change since then. I live in the Sector 7 slums now, and work at a bar nearby. That's so. What about you? How's life been since you left Nibelheim? I became a soldier. Cloud, what's wrong? Sorry, I can't talk about my time at Shinra. It's confidential. Besides, it's not a fun story. Tell me anyway. I wanted to hear what you've been up to. Are you sure you're okay? You don't look well. It's nothing. I've been busy this past few days, so I haven't been getting a lot of sleep. Should probably try to rest up. I'm just gonna go. See you around, Tifa. Wait, hey, wait! When can I see you again? Are you staying somewhere? I was gonna find an inn? Maybe stick around for a while. Find something more permanent later. Then why don't you come to the bar? We have a lot of catching up to do. No, thanks. I'll help you find a room, so come on. It's fine. I'll figure it out. I'll get in touch when I do. Just wait. I know someone who's looking for tenants. Marl. I'll introduce you. Sure. Thanks. No problem. I've lived here for 5 years now. It's practically home. The bar is this way. Come on. I should have been happy bumping into my old friend Tifa, but my body was heavy, my head hurt. It's like I wasn't me anymore. Former soldier first class, Cloud Strife. Former soldier first class, Cloud Strife. That's what I kept repeating to myself over and over again. Sorry, friends, was that... Glenn, look at this shit! Glenn Lodbrok, Shinra soldier P0 class. He volunteers for a dangerous mission in enemy territory, one with a large reward. I didn't get to read that till the end, but that's our friend Glenn. Do you know why? Do you understand why I love this whole like part of Ever Crisis so much? I think the battles are just Zack and Lucia, sure, why not? I don't think there's any story in the battle, and we can just skip them. But yeah, it's alright. So it's beautifully written. Unless I'm mistaken, it's exclusive to Ever Crisis, and it's just, I don't know, I love it. And you know, it's not like from the info we have from OG, even what little we've seen together, or Remake Rebirth, we could have pieced all that out together, right? Like, we knew that Cloud kinda showed up in Midgar, like Numax was asking, we don't really know what the fuck he was up to before that. We just know he showed up, bumped into his childhood friend, and that's kind of how, you know, we got to the situation that we see in all three versions of the game. So this is just really like, you know, actually spelling things out. And one thing that's very obvious, maybe not very obvious, but that you know, jumped out at me, was the parallel with Aerith and Elmira, right? Where Elmira was just going to the station every day because she was hoping for her husband to come back. And that's where she met Aerith, who was in a bit of a pickle since she was like, you know, in her dying biological mother's arms, right? And this is the exact same situation. Tifa was in the station for whatever reason, and she just finds this person, everybody's assuming he's a Mako junkie, just like, you know, not being well at all, and realizes it's her childhood friend, and they start talking, and, but you know, I really think this is intentional. There's a clear parallel there. It's the exact same thing. Alright, we can skip the battles, that's what I thought. I don't know, I love it, and just how much we also got that vibe again from old versions of the game, that, you know, Cloud is weird, he gets confused, he gets those massive headaches, you know, there's something wonky going on with Cloud, but they make it so fucking apparent here, right? Like, and maybe this is just my reading of it, but I really, like, I feel like, you know, this person in, like, having very strong physical symptoms of whatever is ailing him, is it withdrawal? Is it actually a Mako junkie like everybody seems to be assuming, and it's just, you know, going cold turkey? Is it something else? That I don't know. We're not supposed to know at this point, but what is sure is that he was not well, and, you know, he's like just really struggling to not just try and act like a normal person because he's seeing his childhood friend that he hasn't seen for 5 years, for fuck's sakes, but also just to, you know, actually live through the moment. Like, it's painful for him to just listen to her and try to have that conversation. I don't know, I think that scene was beautifully written, and it absolutely complements the whole thing. It just spells out things that we could kind of guess, but now we see it with our own eyes, and it's fucking brilliant. Let's continue, my friends. I hadn't seen Tifa in 5 years. I could not believe I was walking beside her like this again. We also get to hear Cloud's thoughts, which I think is really interesting because we never get that in the other versions, right? I need to pick up some things for the bar. Do you mind? Oh yeah, no. Sorry, Zia. The fight. Ignore the fight. Pretend it didn't happen. It's like non-canon. It's more of a mechanical thing where they. So again, you can't tell because it's my team and stuff. But back when the game first came out, even once you only gained access to those little, you know, prequels after what we just did, right? So finishing the first 3 chapters of Final Fantasy VII story, and they were extremely fucking hard, and so those fights are just kind of a barrier, you know, they don't make any sense in world. They did not fight anything from the station to wherever they are now. It's just for the players to earn the right to watch those cutscenes, if that makes any sense. Which is why I could get Lucia and Zack in there, which makes no sense for the story whatsoever. So it's not like, and I'm gonna skip the fights from now on, But you know, when we play the main story, you've seen how the fights are actually, you know, intertwined with the story. They always justify why there's a fight, and the characters you get to play are the ones that it makes sense would be there during the story. This is different. This is just mechanical, right? So you could, as long as you have Cloud in the team, I could have played Glenn, I could have played whoever the fuck I wanted amongst all the characters that I have unlocked, if that makes any sense. Yeah, I should have. I was worried that there would be a tiny bit of dialogue before and after, like in story mode. But now that I know, just please pretend this fight never happened, and we'll skip all of those while we're doing those amazing little backstory cutscenes. No, go ahead. Thanks. We're almost out of cocktail liquor. Cocktail liquor, Tifa? What is it? I was just thinking about old times. Me and the other soldiers used to mix our own drinks. The best was winter salt. Those were the good old days. Winter salt? I don't think I know that one. What's in it? Let me think. Well, it's got salt sprinkled on it to look like snow. Interesting. What does it taste? What does it taste like? Salty? What? And this is a real drink? Yeah, of course. Salty drinks are a thing, right? Though it's still not ringing any bells. Teach me the recipe so that I can make it. Problem is it's confidential. Well, I'll wing it then. You can be my taste tester. Taste tester. That's hard for a Frenchman to say. Taste tester. Taste tester. And see, I love it. I love this scene so much. Tifa looked happy, chatting with the vendor. Then again, she's always enjoyed chatting with people. They're having a sale today. I want to stock up, so can you help me carry it back to the bar? Sure, I can carry as much as you want. I was a soldier, remember? Great, thanks. $1 would have been it for me. Then can I get 7 boxes of the usual? Thanks. Huh? You got it. I'll be right back. My arms were killing me from carrying all those boxes, but it felt nice being relied on. But our next request was unexpected. See, the fact that we're in Cloud's head, we kind of knew, right? Again, this is stuff we could guess, that he's acting all tough and shit, but he actually has feelings. He's very glad that he's found Tifa again and stuff. And just seeing it spelled out and having that, like, the difference between what he's thinking in his head, like, you know, it felt nice being relied upon, and then the way he acts with her, I just love it. I love it so much. Seventh Heaven was a nice looking bar, especially for a place in the slums. As Tifa was putting the bottles away, she was humming a tune I'd never heard before. See, all that little... I love it. Flavor. You were a great help today. I remember when you could barely carry a sack of flour. That was when I was a kid. So, anything else I can do for you? Well, yes, but soldiers know a lot about, you know, weapons, right? Do they ever make their own? Yeah, simple. When you're alone in enemy territory, you need to know how to use whatever you can get your hands on to defend yourself. Standard survival techniques. They teach them in basic training.
Then, how about explosives? They teach you how to make those too. Explosives? I mean, yeah, but why do you ask? Oh, nothing. I was just curious because you seem so knowledgeable about these kinds of things. You really can do anything, can't you? Anything? Yeah, you're right. I have knowledge and skills like nobody else. I got it. I'm gonna be a mercenary. I can do anything. Yeah, you're right. What is it, Tifa? I'm gonna be a mercenary. What do you mean? I'm gonna do whatever people pay me to. Even if it's dangerous? Or difficult? Sure. I have the knowledge and skills of a soldier after all. And that, my friends, is how our boy Cloud became a mercenary. Because Tifa was like, I'm asking for a friend. If somebody wanted to, theoretically, you know, like, make a bomb, could you do that? Yeah. Could you make a weapon? Yeah. And he's all like, yo, I'm gonna be a soldier. A mercenary. Brilliant. I'm almost capped up on stamina. 20 minutes. I'm gonna lose a tiny bit of stamina, that's all. Cloud, you seem tired. Were you really that busy? I'm fine, really. Don't worry about it. Okay. Well, just to take it easy until the closing, can I get you anything? To get started, I need some money. I want money. Money. I mean, I want to find jobs so I can make money. Could you maybe introduce me to some clients? Sure, but let me ask you something first. How do you feel about the Shinra? It was your dream to become a soldier. Don't you miss the job and working for Shinra? No. If anything, I'm relieved. I'm done with Shinra. For good. Then, if something bad were to happen to Shinra, you know, theoretically speaking, how would you feel about it? Things they've done. You have no idea. Trust me. They deserve whatever they get. Good. Then we're all on the same page. Oh? That's right. Your first clients are me and my friends. Cloud, did you hear me? Yeah, I heard you. So, who are these friends of yours? I'm a member of an anti-Shinra group called the Avalanche. She's very... Is stressful a word? You know what I'm saying? Like, she just bumps into one of her friends. She hasn't seen him in 5 years. He's clearly got, you know, issues. And she knows for a fact that he left to work for the company, that she's part of a, you know, terrorist group that acts against that company. And she's all like, how do you feel about your ex-employer? It's like, yeah, fuck him. And she's like, oh, great, so I happen to be in a terrorist group. What a job. But don't get me wrong, I'm not crazy. Like, I do believe this is how Tifa is. Like, she's just, you know, she would have acted that way. I just find it... I like Tifa. We're carrying out an important mission tomorrow, and I think you could be a bigger help. What do you think? Having a former soldier there would make everyone feel a lot better. I used to work for Shinra. You sure I'd be welcome? You used to, and now you don't. Please, a cloud. Well, what's the pay? 1,000. Nah, I think we can afford the 1.5 thousand gills. Wait, is that not enough? Well, that is all we have the budget for. I also throw in the free drinks and my delicious homemade cooking. Do you like the pasta and the pizza? No? Well, then... take care of the lady. So interesting, so interesting. Good night, my Krieger. Sweet dreams. Say hi to your little family for me. And talk to you very soon. Special stream on Tuesday, Krieger. We'll be playing Final Fantasy XIV again. I love you, man. Thank you so much for being here tonight. Thanks for always being here. You do absolute best, man. And when we play First Soldier on stream, you'll finally get to see Matt, the character I keep telling you about, in action, and I'm excited about that as well. Good night, Krieger. Alright. Huh? I'll give you a discount, but only because it's you. Really? Are you sure? Yeah, we'll both be getting something out of it. I needed to help her because that was the only way I could prove to myself that I was still me. This is the second time he's saying something like that, right? Like it seems to be really important to him to hang on to who he is. That's extremely interesting. That is extremely interesting. Alright, friends, so that's all we get for Cloud. I hope... Well, you can probably tell I keep saying how much I fucking love those things. Those scenes drive me crazy, man. They're just so fucking good, in my opinion. And they you know, it goes to show that if they want, they can do Ever Crisis exclusives that are beautifully written and actually contribute to the story, which I can be negative about Final Fantasy. The story events have been so, you know, underwhelming is a bit of an understatement. If you can create this kind of writing, why don't we get that sort of thing in events, right? It can be spoiler free. Give us backstory on random secondary characters that have no impact on the story. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, sorry, I need to stop rambling about Final Fantasy VII events. Also, hire me up, people. I'll write you event stories. Alright, friends, shall we move on with Tifa? So, same thing, this is going to be a flashback centered on Tifa. After suffering a horrific accident, I woke in a clinic in the Sector 7 slums. With nothing but a huge hospital bill to my name, I began a new life in Midgar, one that would soon lead me to make great friends and new precious memories. So that horrific accident... I'm sorry, let's you can probably guess what I'm thinking, right? I'm pumped. I've been meaning to do these on stream since the very start. Again, I've spoken about those little exclusive cutscenes so many times. I love them. I love them. And this is Tifa too. Actually, I think I like the Barret ones even more than the Tifa ones, but we'll get there in due time. I was 15 when I first came to the slums. Some people brought me to a clinic here, injured and unconscious, and I didn't wake up for a whole month. So very interesting. I'm sorry, from the get-go I'm gonna stop and talk for a minute, but you know, ZA, we were asking ourselves how old they were 5 years ago and shit.
apparently she was 15, and we're talking about how sexualized she is in the Nibelheim flashback with the little cowboy outfit. And you know, I was like, no, she's older than that. And no, you were right, she was 15, clearly, since, you know, after coming to the slums, like, we know this is after Nibelheim, so she was 15 at best in the Nibelheim flashback, which is all kinds of fucked up. I really thought she was older than that. For what it's worth, when I dress my Tifa up, my character in Ever Crisis, in the cowboy outfit, it is the 20 years old Tifa, not the 15 years old Tifa. Just saying. I'm just saying. Anyway. And see, you know what I'm saying? We're not just getting little, like, backstories on our beloved characters and shit. Like, we actually also get details on the timeline and shit. We can work all that shit out. Again, Final Fantasies, usually the age of characters is a given, you know, out of, for like the Ultimania things that are published in Japan and other things, but you know, like, you're supposed to know how old the characters are, even if it's not explicitly spelled out in game. I do like it when it is like that, though. We have a hard confirmed that Tifa, in the free versions, or again, under the assumption that you can assume that the timelines are the same, when not explicitly proven otherwise, she is 20 years old, and she was 15 when the Nibelheim incident happened. When I did, I was alone with nothing but a huge hospital bill, so I found a job to pay off my debt. Will we know what was this accident? Well, let's, you know, watch it together. I honestly think we're supposed to assume that the accident was the Nibelheim incident. You know, she was there when Sephiroth lost his shit. We don't actually know that in the Ever Crisis timeline just yet, but again, you know, she's saying that she moved to Midgar when she was 15 after a big incident, and that's what I was saying, you know, like, she was at most 15 during the Nibelheim flashback, but like, come on, she can't have been 12, right? And like 15 sounds awfully young to me, but whatever, let's roll with that. And the Nibelheim was traumatic, and we don't exactly know what happened, right? There is a bit there, again, you know, in Rebirth there's this whole confusion where Cloud is like, you were dead, and she was like, no, you left me for dead, what the fuck, right? So, yeah, I'm gonna go with, unless we get something that very, you know, obviously states otherwise, the accident was Nibelheim 5 years ago, when Cloud and Sephiroth were there. Sephiroth lost his shit, burnt everything, Tifa got injured badly, somebody took her to Midgar. Working assumption, I'm not saying that's what happened, but also, can't my girl catch a fucking break? Honestly, if like she was 14 when that shit went down, and after that traumatic event, she had another like life-threatening incident that made like apparently strangers carry her to Midgar. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, we know something horrible happened to her when well, back then, 5 years ago. Occam's razor tells us it's the same thing. So let's go, for now, let's go with the accident was the Nibelheim incident. When I did, I was alone with nothing but a huge hospital bill. So I found a job to pay off my debt. What would you like? 1 sector 8, please. Here you are. Give me the house special, and quickly, I'm in a hurry. Here you are. Be careful, it is hot. Took you a while. You're not too good at this, are you? I'm sorry. I'll do better next time. Spit in his fucking dumplings, Tifa. Fuck this guy. The anxiety of getting used to a new job and paying off my debt was overwhelming. But I threw myself back into martial arts to try to make it through each day. Look at the little kitty cat watching her. It looks like one of Betty's cats. Although it's probably Sector 7 and not 5. And I feel like Tifa was less familiar with Sector 5 than, say, Biggs was, for sure. I think there's another one of the two, either Jessie or Wedge. Anyway, probably just a coincidence, it's just a white cat. Man, still not there yet. I felt stronger, but I'm not back to where I was. Needed to put on more muscle and build up my stamina so I can keep this job. Day after day, I worked to pay off my debt. I trained hard and slept like I was dead. Before I knew it, 2 years had passed. It was tough, but I was grateful. Keeping busy made it easier not to think about what had happened, to put the memories of the horror behind me. Here you are! Free Sector 8, steamed buns with no green onions. Thanks as always. The only thing I look forward to more than these buns is your smile. Very subtle. Here you are, extra spicy, and it is piping hot, so don't eat it too quickly. I'm getting hungry, this is ridiculous. Hey, great job, Tifa. The lunch rush is almost over. Thanks, boss. We didn't sell as much as I thought, though. I've been losing business to that new place down the way. Let's hope we make up for the difference tonight. Anyway, I can handle things here for now, so you're in the back. 22 Sector 8 steamed buns, please. 22? 22, yeah, 20 for me, and one for each of my friends. Oh, no, don't tell me you're out. I came all the way from Sector 7 because I heard those delicious buns just melt in your mouth. Wait, no, that's not it. You just caught me off guard. Don't worry, we have plenty left. Yes! They've got them. Coming right up. I'll be here, ready to dig in. Oh, and if possible, can you hurry? I feel like I might pass out from hunger. What? So, you know, it's the anime trope of the dude that eats a lot. Still, though, this is how Tifa met the Avalanche Gang. How? I'm excited! Making steam buns for eager customers made me realize that I'd found a purpose in life. I was helping people, and that's what I was meant to do. Wow, that was so good. Way better than the reviews. It was worth the trip, right, Wedge? I'm definitely coming back here. Me too. I already want more. Let's come back together. Don't talk with your mouth full, man. Gross. Alright, we should get going. Wedge, you can eat the rest while we walk. It's not dumpling, it's like bows or something that she's selling, right? Buns? Hehe, they seemed like a fun group.
What? Why am I crying? Seeing them talking and laughing together, it hit me. I was all alone. It's been 2 years since she's been working at the dumpling food truck or whatever. I'm saying dumpling because like the titles you unlock for doing those Tifa specific quests are, you know, dumpling vendor and stuff. But again, I feel like she's selling bows, not dumplings. Dumplings are like those little thingies, right? That are steamed? Right? Oh, actually, I don't know what I'm talking about. Anyway. Also, yeah. The martial arts angle. So again, if you guys are willing to do the same assumption I make, that when we learn stuff like that, like what we're learning tonight, that, you know, is not contradicted in any way. This is just new information, right? That we did not get in OG, that we did not get in Remake. Then it makes sense to assume that this information is true in all three universes. Well, in that case, we know from Rebirth that, you know, Tifa was training under this very strict, great martial artist person, again, when she was 15. And, you know, there she said, like, after her accident and stuff, she quickly, like, got back into martial arts and, like, trained a lot. And I believe in Remake, when we go into her room, we see that she has, like, a punching bag. And I feel like, you know, she's had her training with Zangan, was that the name of the dude? Zangan. And then after her accident, she moves to Midgar. She's kind of lonely, but she finds this like little shitty job. She's crawling with debt, but she still, like, you know, goes back into martial arts training, but more like as a, like, you know, personal thing. Anyway, that's the way I read it. I don't know, maybe she joined the dojo and actually had teachers and shit, but also she trained under Zangan. I'm not sure anybody could teach her anything. I think she was extremely strong already at that point. The three friends who bought the 22 steamed buns soon became regulars. Just knowing that I'd see them again and again made me work harder. I was becoming a natural. Business has been really good lately. We set another record for lunch sales. I'm incorporating martial arts into the routine. I love it when that happens. Like a Master Zangan would. Glad to see you in high spirits. I hope you keep up the energy for the dinner rush. Nah, go on. It's time for your break. Oh, good to see you guys. Hey there. We just couldn't stay away. I'm sorry, but we're close till dinner time. You'll have to come back later. Oh no, we were too late. And here I was looking forward to eating 30 of them. Boss, it's okay. I will serve them. 30 steamed buns coming right up. Yes! I'm gonna beat my record! Lucky break, Wedge. You're a lifesaver. I know we're always asking for a lot. Soon, I became friendly with the three of them. Wedge was the funny one, Biggs was the older brother type, and then there was Jessie. She was a big... I did not remember that. That is so funny. When I played this on my own, you know, 6 months something ago, I didn't see the remake thingy, and like, you know, that little phrase there, I remembered loving that story. I did not remember that that was in there as well. They are confirming my thing, right, about... We know Ever Crisis is closer to OG, but we should assume that extra information applies to all three timelines. She was a big city girl from Midgar. I love that. Hard confirmed that Jessie's backstory is true, at least in the OG, in the Ever Crisis timeline. She was a bigger city girl from Midgar, and I yearned to be like her. Even though we were around the same age, she'd experienced so much, and seemed like such a grown-up. This is also kind of... Again, this is so very Tifa. You know, she's one of those people that have been through so much shit,
She's probably like ridiculously strong and talented at martial arts. She's clearly really fucking good at her job. You know, like she's saving the joints when she started. You know, the dude was all like, "Oh yeah, there's that new place that opened down the block. We're probably fucked." And yet, you know, she meets Jesse. Like, there's just those three people, and you know, she's like, "Oh, I want to be like them." But she's got admiration for Jesse. And don't get me wrong, like Jesse is a brilliant person, but Tifa doesn't know everything we know, right? She's just like, "Oh, you know, like she comes from the big city, and you know, she seems so grown up." Girl, you've been through such a fucking hardcore trauma. You just moved into a massive like metropolis where you knew nobody. You're building a life. You've been building a life for yourself for 2 years, from your 15th birthday to your 17th. Like, you know, you're a kid. You're fucking making it work. Nah, you should not. I mean, it's brilliant that you do. It shows how good a person you are. But you know, Jessie's got nothing on you, Tifa. It's adorable that she thinks that. You know what I'm saying? It is so Tifa. I love it. I love it. Phew, longer day. If I keep this up, I might be able to pay off my debt in another 4 years. Hey, pretty lady. Jesus. Again, she's 17 right now. Wanna make a quick deal with that beautiful face of yours? I'm a good, thanks. Even if it's 100 times what you're making now. What? Hey! Come on. With guys like that, you have to put your foot down and be clear that you're not interested. If that doesn't work, then call me. And if I'm not around, then well, do what we just did. So again, like, Tifa would have beaten the crap out of that dude, I'm sure. Whoever he was. Thank you. You look... something on your mind. I'm a pretty good listener, you know. That was the first time I had the chance to really talk to Jessie. I told her everything. That it had been 2 years since I came to the slums, that my parents were gone, and that I was working to pay off my debt. I let out everything that I had kept bottled up inside for so long. Tifa Lockhart, you've got to be the hardest worker in the slums. We'll avenge your father. Together. Maybe not tomorrow, but someday. So CZA, I think this is as much of a confirm as we're gonna get. The accident was the Nibelheim incident. Why are you being so nicer to me? Good question. Because I can't help but meddle? Oh, but just to be clear, I don't have any money. None of us do. Oh, but we can do whatever we put our minds to, as long as we work together. Preach it! Preach it, sister! Oh, it's so much. Jessie taught me all sorts of things. The reason I'm who I am today is because of the three of them. Biggs, Wedge, and of course Jessie. But then things got complicated. Alright, we're gonna have to finish up Tifa tonight. That's how she got involved with Avalanche then. Exactly, ZA. This is the You know, much like we saw Cloud's very first steps in Midgar, this is how Tifa got to know those folks. And you know, like for instance, Jessie and the others, you know, she did not know Barrett back then. And you know, since the both of them are main characters, you might just assume that, oh yeah, like, you know, she met Barrett and that's how she met the gang and got involved. No. She was a dumpling vendor at a food truck, and those three guys were you know, just hanging out. And I also love the way that's written, but also it resonates with me because this is Kogona, who's often on our chat, one of my best friends. This is how we met, like literally. It was a marketplace and he was just selling stuff. I came as a client. And we just like looked at each other and we're like, fuck, you know, I want to become friends with this person. And we managed to. And this is like the same thing, right? Where the minute Wedge and the others walked in, you know, she was like, just from the way they looked, I imagine, or their energy or something. And, you know, she was like, I like them. I want to become friends with them. And she said it didn't take very long. I don't know, maybe a few weeks, maybe a few days, but you know, eventually, yeah, she became friends with Jessie, and through Jessie with the rest of them, and that's how she got involved with Avalanche. But again, this is not over, I'm sorry, we've got more to see. This is so fucking good, right? This is fucking pinnacle fucking writing to me. Is pinnacle word, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is fucking top notch. I love those quests. I love those quests so fucking much. Tifa, do you have a minute? Sure, what is it? The three regulars you've been hanging out with? You should probably break things off. What the? Look, they're part of an anti-Shinra group called Avalanche. If people think you're one of them, who knows what kind of danger that might put you in. Anti-Shinra? Avalanche? Danger? Here's Glenn again. He volunteers for a dangerous mission to locate a site for the construction of a Mako reactor. This is obviously young Glenn, right? Not the Glenn we've seen in Rebirth. Alright, my friends, this is the last little Tifa specific cutscene that we're gonna get for now. We'll go through that and then we'll call it a night. And next time we play Ever Crisis, I'm guessing in 2 weeks time on a Sunday, but no promises there, we'll see how things go. We'll do the Ares specific one. We'll keep the Barrett one, again my personal favorite, for a little longer. We'll move on with the main story, and then we'll do Barrett. And after that, that frees us up to do First Soldier together. So finally hang out with Glenn. You guys have seen when I messed up and did a fight that had nothing to do with the story. You got a glimpse of Lucia. And I've been talking about Matt because Krieger's first name is Matt. Well, Mathieu, but you know. Anyway. Well, yeah. All this in a few months, I guess. I didn't care that they were members of Avalanche. That wasn't going to keep me from being their friend. So if I may just, like, really quick pause there. Tifa. So again, like, she's been through an extremely traumatic thing. But I'm not sure at this stage she actually has hatred for Shinra per se, because in her mind, Sephiroth is the issue, right? And it's not like... And remember, in the Nibelheim flashback, we haven't seen the Ever Crisis version yet, but the two versions we saw of that... Wait, we've only seen the Rebirth version so far. I'm sorry. In the Rebirth version, in any case, you know, they're extremely excited to have soldiers show up. Because soldiers are super famous, they're all your super fighters of Shinra. You know what I'm saying is that most people don't have that stance against Shinra that our gang does, that the Avalanche people do. And I think that's extremely interesting, is that we should not look at this, what's happening right now, where her manager is like, you need to not hang out with these guys that are anti-Shinra. If we think of the modern Tifa, the Tifa that we know through the through games, you know, she'd be like, yo, fuck you, man, fuck Shinra. But I don't think that's where Tifa was at that stage. And saying that, I realized when she, again in the Rebirth version, you know, she's holding her... No, we did see the Nibelheim flashback in OG. Anyway, you know, like when her dad dies, killed by Sephiroth, she goes, Shinra, Mako reactors, I hate all of this. So yeah, never mind, I'm kind of talking out of my ass now. What I'm saying though is that I don't think at 17 years old Tifa that just met the gang, I don't think she has, you know, anti-Shinra and has we've kind of seen that like her day-to-day life has been working her ass off to pay off her debts and like martial arts training. I don't think she's had time to really take it all in, think about Shinra, think about just how much responsibility they've got for how everything is shit and stuff. You know what I'm saying? I feel like when she says that, I didn't care that they were members of Avalanche. You know, it's a lot stronger than I didn't care because I hate Shinra. I feel like it's, you know, I like those people. Love is probably a bit strong at this stage, but you know, I like those people. They're making me feel. She's been here for 2 years, for fuck's sakes. You know, they're the first real friends she's made since her life went to shit. I don't know. I just think it's important for her psychology. The way I understand Tifa, anyway. You know, she was not a full-on anti-Shinra people. She met people, befriended them, and then. I need to shut up and just go through the text. I'm sorry. I got so fucking excited. But the one day, they stopped coming around, and my life went back to the way it was before I'd met them. Woke a train asleep. Just like that, another year passed. Poor Tifa. Ha! Where are you guys? I thought we were friends, Tifa. And here you are, thanks. Just between you and me, I heard that Shinra's troops are gonna raid an Avalanche rally tonight. Lolly. What the? Where'd you hear that? I have a friend who works for Shinra. He told me not to leave the house tonight. A raid. I have to warn Jesse. But I don't know where they are. A year ago, when I celebrated my second birthday in the slums, Jesse took me to a planetology workshop. The teachings of planetology state that when the people die, their essence returns to the planet. When I learned this, my whole world was turned upside down. You know, take note of the fact that Jesse is the speaker here. This is not... This is highly relevant, I think. It makes sense, doesn't it? Your dad isn't gone. He's one with the planet now. So, caring for the planet will keep you connected with him. Isn't that a pretty cool way to see it? Nibelheim will always be with you. Just like your father will always be with you. You're not alone, Tifa. I have not felt alone since I met you. I felt a bond with you, with everyone. Promise me we'll be friends for a long time. Totally. You know, you need to lighten up and let go. Cry if you want to cry. Laugh if you want to laugh. You don't have to force yourself to be all grown up. I'm not... See, there you go again. Remember, if there's ever anything you want to talk about, you know where to find me. Thanks, I thought they were my friends, but they hid something important from me. Jesse Biggs a wedge, where are you? While I walked, I racked my brain for any sort of clue that might help me track them down. Wait, that's it. The room from the workshop. What the fuck are you talking about? Oh, I'm so sorry. I just remembered something important about the summer friends. Thank you. Jesse, Biggs, a wedge. I'm coming. She saved me back then. No, it was my turn to return the favor. Jesse. Tifa, what are you doing here? Hey, you! If they catch us together, they'll arrest you too. I can't involve you in this. Please, just go! No way. I told you I study martial arts, right? Hey, it's Avalanche! Shut up! Planetology taught me. No. You taught me that Nibelheim and my father are always with me. That's given me the strength I never thought I had. Jesse, you're an important friend, so you're always with me too, right? I like how, Jesse's all like huggy. Tifa, don't worry. This time, I will protect you. And like ZA said, that, my friends, is how Tifa got involved with Avalanche. Alright, this is a wrap. I'm sorry, we're a tiny bit... No, we're right on time, There's so much more, though, I want to talk about. And it's all like how she got internalized into the whole movement is extremely interesting. And again, Avalanche is... They're not just, they're not just anti-capitalist people. They're not just fighting Shinra. They do have this, like, religious, spiritual dimension to it. It's very clear when we play Rebirth and Remake. I make a lot of comments on that, but because I find it extremely interesting that Barret is a deeply spiritual person. He's 100% a planetologist, I guess you would call it. He believes all of that, and it is through his faith that, fighting Shinra becomes the most important thing for him. That whole thing we had when we were playing the main story about he wants to leave a world for his daughter, it is through that deep belief that Mako is actually the life essence of the planet, and that when people die they return to the planet. Therefore, I make jokes about it all the time, but huffing Mako means huffing dead people. Mako is dead people. Mako is the everything. It's the great everything will return to. Now, personally, I think they're right. I think this is how metaphysics work in the Final Fantasy VII universe. But still, it's already a gray area. They are terrorists and they kill innocent people for what they believe. But what I really love about that is that, they just met, like, she was just the dumpling girl, but they met, they had this one time where, they had a fright, or Tifa had a fright, and then they started talking, they became friends, and, Jessie invited her to a planetology workshop. This is a spiritual thing. It's like bringing your friend to church or your place of worship, whatever your religion is. And she was the one giving the sermon. So again, Barrett's not the only one who's deeply spiritual and intellectual about those things. Jessie at the very least gave planetology sermons. She brought Tifa to one of those. And there's this whole thing. I mean, to me, it is a bit of a gray area. Again, don't get me wrong. I think these guys are right. They're fighting the good fight and all of that. I have, you know how much I love Barret and the Avalanche gang. But there is that bit right about evangelism. They did, like, Jessie was very actively trying to convert Tifa to her worldviews. And I'm not talking like Shinra's a disease and we need to fight it for the planet, but like the whole spiritual thing around it, the whole, not spiritual, religious thing. Planetology is a religion And yeah, she did not just, you know, decide to fight Shinra for the sake of her friends. She got converted to a religious system. Which again, I sound very critical. I think they're right. I think that's what's going on. I think they should absolutely defend Mako and shit. Aerith is an ancient. She hears dead people. We have hard evidence that planetology is right, and that's what's going on in that universe. That's how life and death and everything works. But you know what I'm saying? It's not innocent at all. It's not just a friendship, and you know, they had long conversations about violent revolution is the only way to change the system. No, it's a lot, you know, it's more insidious than that. It's like, do you want to come to this place where people like you are kind of lost, you know, just listen to my sermon, see what you make of it? And then she's all like, you know what to find me, like, just come to the church, essentially. She converted Tifa. And I think this is extremely fucking interesting. But I'm already over time. We will talk about all of this more. Friends, I had a lot of fun! I hope you had a lot of fun. I've been looking forward to this moment when we could do these Ever Crisis exclusive scenes. We've got more to come. We've got the Aerith one and the Barret one. Again, we will save the Barret one for a bit later, because I kind of want to do this, you know, like semi-chronologically in the order that it was released. What I'm saying is that if we did the Barret one the next time we play Ever Crisis, it might spoil us. There's some information about Barret we don't yet have. But anyway, shorter term, on Tuesday is a special stream. We're gonna build Elmira and Aerith's house in Final Fantasy XIV. It's gonna be fun and different. We'll see how it goes. Next Sunday we are back. We will be playing OG most probably. I reserve the right to change my mind at the last minute, like I did last week. But yeah, Plan A is OG next week. Special stream on Tuesdays. My friends, this is Morgan. This is Morgan Zaynan signing off. Again, Izzy, I'm a little frustrated. There was no minigame tonight. See, you're liking it. I can't tell if you're being sarcastic, but yeah, no. Ever Crisis is a lot more. Yeah, you're kind of, there's no, well, actually we stopped the main story so I could show you guys these amazing fucking backstories that are all cutscenes and stuff, so I guess there are distractions from the main story. But anyway, thank you so much for being here, CA. Have a great night. Morgan Zaynan signing off. Be kind to each other, eat less animals, and play more Final Fantasy. I love you all. Good night.